Yo, what is up, my gamers in Christ? How are we doing today? I hope you guys are excited for another episode of Rage and Resist FM. We're not in the AM out here. We're actually on the FM, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not. No relation to any radio or anything like that. I just think it sounds nice. It sounds nice off the tongue, you know, FM. Makes it sound official. Anyways, today we're just doing the podcast because I do have to go to the work. You know, I have to go to work after this. So, I'm just going to set some things up here and get ready. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please remember to like and subscribe. And we do have a Morrowind mention makes you moist. Well, that's great to hear. That's great to hear, my friend. Tomorrow, I will be bringing something brand new in the coming soon section. We will be having true call-ins. That's right. You can dial a number and call me up and say what's up, and you will be able to call in, interact. I think that'll be nice for the boomers out there. So, anyways, I am actually going to get right into the podcast, just because our co-host, Mirutzi, will not be able to stay for the full podcast. So, we're gonna unmute and say what's up and begin discussing. Her topic is going to be the Super Bowl stuff. So,
did you hear the news about Jotun?
No, I didn't hear
no,
the news
did
about
he-
Jotun.
Did he officially become a big?
Every-
Did he become an adult? Did he grow up?
Oh, one moment.
Well, everybody needs to congratulate Jotun
Anyways,
for finding a significant other. Yeah, he has a girlfriend now.
I'm a big boy. Congratulations, Jotun.
yo, what's up,
Yeah.
gamers? I'm gonna do an intro real quick, so it's nice, nice and
Wait, Mina,
proper.
did you
Mhm.
figure out Fujitech, or do you still need my help?
Whoa, Kalinda jump scare.
Yeah, I
yeah.
still need help with
I'm
Fujitech.
laying in bed. Okay. Do you want to do this now? Because I think Guy wants to start.
I mean, we're both streaming now, so
Well,
I mean,
Okay.
well,
you're
I know.
live.
Well, Rootsy does have to.
yeah, she has
She
to
has
go.
to
So we
leave
can maybe
soon.
just do this later, or
Okay.
tomorrow, or
Like
something.
rearrange things for me. I'll just chill too. It's not a big deal.
No, it's fine. I can come back later if you need help or what have you. Sorry, I'm really tired.
It's okay.
I
Good
feel
night.
till like 1:30 a.m. last night because I got the
Jeez.
research bug and I started reading the UN report on conditions in the occupied territories in Russia or in Ukraine. Yeah,
That's a read, I guess.
yeah, I've read a whole bunch more of it this morning, but yeah.
That'll give you good dreams.
Yep. Anyway, good luck, guys. Have a good stream.
All right.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
Have a
take
good
nap.
sleep.
good seeing you,
I go to
Kalinda.
sleep. Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.
Me turn down. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Shout out to Kalinda. She's an absolutely amazing streamer. Go check her out. She's killing it, by the way, in terms of streaming, and very impressive. Anyways, this is Rage and Resist episode 2. I'm joined by my amazing two co-hosts, Mirutzi and Mina. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Good. Tired.
Tired.
Good and tired.
I
Oh,
saw my mother-in-law today, which
Oof.
like she traveled all the way from Estonia here, but she's not staying for long, so
well, that's well. Hey, shout out to the grandmas. We love them.
yeah.
Anyways, we got a lot of news to go through. In terms of just a general overview, I've got for our main topics, just some Epstein news, and then we're gonna talk about the DHS shutdown. But I know Rootsy wanted to talk about.
I just wanted to goof on MAGA's Super Bowl halftime show.
Well, let's goof on Maga's Super Bowl halftime show. Do we have? I actually haven't seen
That
it
show
yet.
was
What
funny.
was it?
I refuse to give them a view. I saw clips of it on Brian Tyler Cohen's channel,
Oh, was it?
which I
Was it?
probably could send it to you. But it is everything you imagine a MAGA Super Bowl show to be. Like just Kid Rock, like in his 50s, just looking like an absolute meth head, like lip syncing on stage.
That
Just,
man's
like,
a
full
medal. Didn't he win a medal?
I have no, like, he's not even trying, like, he can't even successfully lip sync. Like, you can see, like, he's just like holding the microphone, and you'll see like a minute go by where his mouth just like doesn't move at all. And I'm
Yeah,
just
I
like,
mean,
compared to like what Bad Bunny did and like the
Amazing.
production value and like how amazing that was. And like, then like going on Twitter this morning and just seeing like all of the MAGA people cope about like, oh yeah, like we had 5 million people, like we totally beat their asses. And it's like there was like 140 million people watching Bad
oh,
Bunny.
I
You
haven't
guys got
seen that cope. Have they
yeah.
really been trying to claim that
Oh
it
my
was an
God, yes.
all-time popular thing? I'm off of Twitter, so I don't get to see the good.
And then it was just all about like how like, oh well, Kid Rock, like that was a family patriotic show. And it's like Kid Rock's lyrics are legitimately about fucking underage girls.
Oh,
Like
does he
the
have a song
Republicans,
about that?
yes, like he has multiple lines and multiple songs about like fucking underage girls.
That's
Um,
insane. I remember
and
I
it's just so on brand for Republicans,
well,
right?
that's
Like
going back on old songs and kind of listening to the lyrics. The main theme to Osmosis Jones, there's a line in there that's like, and they say it's statutory, but I say it's
yeah,
mandatory.
mandatory.
Isn't
Yeah.
that beautiful?
And I was just like, it's like the Republicans heard like the kid in his name and we're like, yeah, we'll take that.
Oh, hell yeah. They're all over the kid stuff. Hold on. They
Like,
are.
it was just
Insane.
it's like if I knew all it took was a little bit of Spanish to forever ruin football for these people, we should have done this years
It's
ago. Like
over.
it's just
Yeah, it's gone, you know?
yeah, watching them
The
like break down and cry over this, and
the
I'm just
libs
I love that
won.
we took it away from you. Yeah, I love that we took that away from you.
I know,
Like
thank God. Maybe we'll stop yeah, I don't really watch sports, I'm gonna be honest. It's just not. I heard the Seahawks won, but because
the Seahawks did win, which is good because the Patriots owner is like a major MAGA douchebag. And I believe the Seahawks owner is not. He's like one of the few billionaires or however rich he is that actually, or she is, that doesn't actually support Trump.
well,
So
you know what? I'm not gonna be, I don't want to seem like I'm being jumping on the bandwagon, but I've always been a bit of a Seahawks fan, not gonna lie.
right.
Back when I was into sports, now I can't get near that stuff. It's just so boring.
I just, yeah. And then Trump like tweeted out like he was bitching about the halftime show while watching the halftime show, which means like he didn't even turn into the TPUSA halftime show. And it's just like it's just such a great illustration of like how totally lame conservatives really
Oh,
are.
dude, the definition of I can't believe they were trying to like claim that they were the cool ones and stuff. It's like,
Right?
in what world are you
World
guys cool? You know what I
is
mean?
the
Like,
50 something is the middle-aged, like washed up, like just redneck white dude from the trailer park down the
I
street, the
have
cool
noticed
one.
that.
You
I
know,
have
against
noticed
bad.
that if a person is failing in their celebrity life, they'll adopt the
Oh,
MAGA. It's a
yeah.
very good grift right now.
And then looking at all of the idiots being like, we should be like celebrating Americans, like we should have American
Oh
citizens
my
performing. And
god.
it's like, oh, for fuck's
Did
sake,
you
well, Puerto
did you guys
Rico,
see did you
they're
see what
American.
Did
Oh
you
yeah.
see what Nick Fuentes said about
No.
that?
What did he say?
Not to mention all of the other
I'll-
acts in the Super Bowl halftimes. Like we've had the Rolling Stones, we've had U2, we've had Coldplay, we've had Rihanna. Like none of these people are citizens. Like none of them. But Bad Bunny actually is an American citizen.
That's interesting,
Hold
isn't
on.
it?
I'll read it to you. Okay, I'll read to you what Nick Fuentes' comments were on the halftime show.
Oh,
I
love
can't
Nick.
lie.
Go on.
The TPUSA halftime thing and what it says about the state of the opposition to global homo or race communism or Zog or whatever is so depressing. There's just nothing inspiring or attractive about what the quote unquote white right has to offer in its current form. Kid Rock again? Ugh. Imagine being with the hose or any normal person and shutting out at halftime because of Spanish and switching over to Rumble to watch Kid Rock. Like I think I'd rather die. I'll take the Spanish at that point. It's a mercy.
Dude, he's a
They
chaos
even love
agent.
them.
He's a chaos
Right?
agent.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
I don't think he
He is so close but so far. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
couple
He's
more
like-
steps and the horseshoe will officially be a circle.
Oh, for sure.
he's like a I don't know if you guys I don't expect Maruzzi to know this, but maybe you know what TGD. You know what a tsundere is?
A Sunduri or Sundura?
Yeah, like
I've heard the word before.
Japanese character. It's like a character archetype where if
Oh,
a
is that why
girl
you didn't
has
expect
like
me to know it? It's an anime thing?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
basically
yeah.
an anime thing. It's like a character archetype where they're crushing on somebody, but they don't like it and they don't want to like seem obvious about it, so they like act really
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they act
brash
like
about it.
Yeah, I get what
Yeah.
you're saying.
He's like acting fine. I'll watch your stupid halftime show, but only because nothing better is on.
Yeah,
You know, something like
exactly.
that.
He's like,
He's-
I don't really like you. I don't no, I don't like you at all.
He's like playing hard to get. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've noticed all of these like groypers that they're kind of hypocrites because I mean obviously, but half of these dudes like have Latina girlfriends and stuff, and it's like, and Nick has openly said that he wants like he finds Latinas attractive and stuff. So I don't get it. I personally think
mean, Latinos.
likes,
Latinos are like. I mean, Trump is really popular with Latinos as well, so it's like,
well,
you know,
that's fading. That's fading fast with these
well,
ICE
yeah, now it is.
deployments.
Even though the ICE agents are Latinos as well, I don't even know what the fuck is going on at this point.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that whole wave right there. I don't understand it personally.
You know,
But
you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like sorry, Maruzzi, you have a bit of echo like when I talk. It's okay.
Oh wait, it's coming
it's-
through mine?
Yeah. It's okay. It reminds me of like people here in Germany that like really, really hate refugees, but they themselves are people of migrant backgrounds because the refugees like ruin their reputation kind of deal. So like they become like really right wing and really pro deportation and shit like that because they really hate those refugees. It's like that.
it's
like,
like
we're
they're not
the good ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's that whole thing. We're the good ones and stuff like that.
Yeah, the tokens basically.
Well, I would never personally, cuz I'm not personally a call them a token. I don't know, but yeah, they're kind of a token. I know what you're saying.
I mean, I say it because I'm a person of migrant background. Like my parents came here like in the 70s or something like that. So
Shout out.
like I'm second gen, but like damn, these people came here because they literally couldn't find any other place to go. So
Yeah,
they
that's
came
some.
here for opportunity and to live a proper life. And you guys are like super mad about that. Why are you kicking down?
Yeah, it
But
feels like they're kicking down. That's but I don't
yeah.
know that life. I'm not much of a migrant. I am white as hell. White as hell. I think the
Yeah, I'm
sun
like the
reflects
only
off of me.
I'm like the only person here that isn't white.
Listen, I'm half Sicilian, okay? And I say
Dude,
that
that's
as being a
true.
second generation American. I'm only second generation American. I can say I'm half this and half that. And as a Sicilian, I am probably the darkest person in this call right now. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Probably.
Okay?
I
Yeah, probably.
I
Because
mean,
I don't
I
go
do
outside.
have some Native American
On the
stuff
side,
in me,
not
I
so
guess.
much. But the ethnicity side, all right?
I think
What
I
up?
mean,
my hope
if I
is we
actually
all
went outside, I would actually get brown, but I don't.
my hope is
Like
that
I am
we
very
all just turn into a shade of brown someday. That's what I hope.
right. I
Just a
would like
light,
to look
like we'll all look
like
like Brazilians eventually.
right?
That's my
Like I would
hope.
very much like to look like Zoe Kravitz or, or Zoe Saldana. Like that
You
is
say that, but there's still like intra-racism, you know?
Oh yeah,
right.
there is.
There's
But I'm
in
sure it'll
like
be like something else. It'll be like, oh, this guy was born with wide eyes, and we're the narrow eyes people. Something like that. Instead of like,
that's funny.
instead of like, oh, you're black and I'm white. It'll be like, oh, your eyes, man, they are way too wide right now. You were born with the wrong type of eyes. I feel like that's gonna be even easier to fight against than racism. So I don't feel like that's gonna be that hard.
Listen, sometimes no, actually, I was
Hold
gonna say
on.
sometimes racism is funny. Okay, but it's true.
Fair,
Sometimes,
that is true. Racism can be
like
funny, especially when racism itself is the butt of the joke.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
also like you guys, I guess, don't really have that in North America. Like here, for example, in Europe, we have like intra-European discrimination. So you have like each country discriminating and against other countries, and then in Germany we have like intra-German discrimination where like you make fun of Bavarians and
We
like
make
people from
Whoa.
East Germany and stuff like that. So like,
and then
the
our
more
racism is just more efficient. Like we don't have to stop to find out where someone is from before
Yeah,
hating them. We can just
exactly.
hate them by what we
We see and we hate. You know what I mean?
right.
We really streamlined the racism
We
issue here in
assembly line with that
America.
bullshit.
I mean,
W-
eventually it's just gonna be like people making fun of like people from Alabama as they usually do, or people making fun
Oh,
of like
I
people from
yeah, I
We
was
always
gonna
do
bring
that
up that
Texas.
bullshit
point.
stuff.
Like, do you
Yeah,
think there will be a state racism or statism going on? Because I mean,
There absolutely.
I mean there already is.
I mean,
Florida.
kind of.
We have an entire meme about the state of Florida, like, and
I
how
mean, we
awful.
I
haven't.
mean,
Yeah, and then on the right, they think California
Californians
is the
literally make fun
definition.
of yeah, but not just that, but like people in California literally like fight against each other whether North California or South California is better. Like you
That
just
is true.
it's
That is true.
it's
South
like,
Florida is the worst place on earth besides Florida.
Where?
California is way better. South California sucks.
Oh, does it?
Oh my God, that's so hard to say. North California
North
is so much,
California.
right? I keep wanting to say North Carolina and South Carolina.
I put a nicotine, totally off subject, but I put a nicotine pouch in my mouth the other day, and I heard my ancestors calling, like my racist ancestors. They were taking over my voice, and howdy, folks. It was very entertaining. Anyways, I don't.
Jesus.
Right?
I felt them. That's why I was like, I can't do this stuff. I'm gonna stick to vaping. Can't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
This is how I turn. This is what happens. They say as you grow
You-
older, you turn into a Republican. No, they're just putting dip in your mouth and I don't know, something like that.
and you're
Anyways,
gonna start spitting into a pot.
yep,
Right?
spitting
You
into a
return to like
pot.
mud farmer roots
I'm
from
gonna start
Mississippi.
mosey on down to the closest water hole. That's what cowboys do, right? I don't know. Kansas doesn't have much in the way of culture, really. So I'm
Are you
just
kidding
gonna
me?
be
I heard
honest.
Texas was known for its culture.
Huh?
It's
Oh
deep.
yeah, it's
I
well
heard
known
Texas
for
was
its culture. Well known. I don't even think we have
the
traditions here.
largest ball of twine or whatever the fuck you guys have
We
there.
do have the largest ball of twine. That is something to be pretty proud about. I can't lie. We do have the
This is
largest ball
why
of twine.
Europeans say Americans don't have culture.
See,
They just hear
okay,
this shit about
we
like a ball
only,
of twine.
dude, we only had 200 years so far. Give us a little bit. I'm sorry we don't have the giant stone where 7,000 people were sacrificed because a witch was acting
It's
naughty.
it's just a mishmash of European cultures like mixed in with like
I mean,
deep
you
south
guys literally have
America.
like Thanksgiving and whatever Halloween or
Yes, our
some
one
shit like that.
real cultural contribution is just eating a shit ton of food.
Mhm. Hey, that's okay.
At
You
the Super Bowl,
remember
And
we
the
got together with those Indians and we really, or Native Americans, I guess that's the more proper term.
Oh my god.
I don't even know what the term is. Didn't Anna Kasparian just get yelled at for not using the right term?
Oh, is that something I'm gonna get canceled for? I don't know. That was what they called, that was what I was raised in elementary to call them. But I believe
One
Right?
Native
time I got yelled
American.
at for calling Native Americans in Alaska Inuit because I thought that was like the right word. But apparently Inuit
word.
is like a subgroup of Native Americans in like Alaska.
Huh.
So it's actually not the right word. It would just be a generalization.
Well,
So I don't even know, dude. Look, okay,
what's up?
look, the thing I give the right wingers, not to the same extent, obviously, but like sometimes political correctness really is like you put like a stick into your bike whilst you're driving.
Right?
Sometimes,
Well, I
Some-
think you should do like
like
go on.
you can be good faith and try your best, but if you don't exactly know what specific, I would say, ethnicity or pronoun somebody has or something, you can try your best. If they tell you, obviously you can change like what you call them, but like you can only predict
Yeah.
so much. And I think this like it feels like cry bullying, and they're like cry bullying at the wrong tree, in my opinion, because we're at least making somewhat of an effort to like correct
for sure.
ourselves
And I don't
correct
well,
our bigotry. But like, damn, bro. Okay, I'll call you whatever you want me to call you.
Well, and mostly, let's be honest,
Don't
mostly it's
yell at
other
me.
it's other white people getting offended.
yeah,
Like
exactly. I was
Yeah.
just about to say like I don't have too much
color.
Oh, sorry. What did you say, Rootsy? My bad.
No, I was just saying, like, I've rarely seen like any like minority or person of color actually get offended by someone just making an honest mistake.
Yeah, like most of the trans people I know, for example, they don't, if you misgender them and then they tell you, they're not going to get upset the first time you misgender them or anything like that, if you're even do that. But I haven't seen too many people like that get upset about that. It really is like Rootsy said, just usually white liberal women. No offense to white liberal women. No offense to white liberal women. We
Oh,
love
no.
you. They're our number one. They're my number one
No.
demographic, actually. So
It's more like the lefty, like virtue signalers.
yeah, the lefties are. I saw they did a video about Hutch. I didn't watch it. Did any of you guys manage to catch that?
Absolutely not.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
I have more important shit to
Well,
do all the
I
time.
watch
Amen.
because of it with Starbucks, but um, as someone who is like, I have no personal beef against Hutch. He does annoy me. I feel like
Yeah,
he's a little
same.
bit too he's too milk toast, I think. But I also know how stupid BreadTube essays are.
Well,
So
the reason I'm not too big of a fan of Hutch right now is because, like, yes, he does talk about MAGA and stuff, and I appreciate that, but most of his videos right now that come out on his main channel are just about lefties, and it's like, it feels like we're losing the plot now. It feels like we're kind of losing the plot. I know the
Yeah,
damaging
I don't
aspect
look.
of.
I understand if you're sorry.
No,
Sorry
go
for
ahead, go ahead.
interjecting.
No.
I understand if you're like actually involved in some kind of beef with somebody that you'd want to, set the record straight or whatever.
Yeah.
I just personally, if you invest 50 trillion hours into hate watching some kind of political commentator or whatever, obviously eventually they're gonna fucking like
Yeah.
respond to what you're saying, and then it's just because it's gonna become like a fucking drain of slop. It's just gonna go down into the septic tank, and you're gonna be
Amen.
at the bottom with the septic sludge of like political discourse that isn't actually political, but just a bunch of like ad homs that doesn't fucking matter, doesn't even contribute anything to the actual political climate right now. It's like you just
No,
all you
exactly.
do is just say the same shit over and over, and then the other person says the same shit over and over, and I just can't fucking do it. That's why I
It's
haven't been like
yes.
watching all that much political content from streamers
That's why I watch
recently.
more IRI, and I do watch a lot of Lone. I think Loner's coverage has been pretty decent, but that's why I watch a lot
No,
of
I can't even watch Loner anymore because he's been like 70 to 80% of what he covers is just slop. I'm sorry, it's just slop. It's like slop sprinkled with some actual political discourse and actual, I don't know.
I don't mind the slap. Listen, I'm not too good for slap. I love slap. Slap is great.
No, I
Um,
do
I
like
just don't
slop.
I
I'm
just
like a
don't like milk.
50%
I
slop.
don't like milk toast. I don't like milk toast people. Like the time to be wishy-washy was
Mm-hmm.
10 years. Like not even wishy-washy. The time to just like if you're kowtowing to norms and shit like that at a time like this, you've lost the plot, man.
Yeah,
Like
the
it's
opposition isn't playing with norms right now, you know? They're not playing a fair fight right now, and it's just like
like you just learned
we
to
can't
play
play
this
a
game.
fair fight either if that's the
Yeah.
case.
Like they're not norms if only one side normally does them. Like they're
Exactly.
no
And it's like, and if we don't start, focusing more on the right, like they are trying to destroy the world order right now. Like I don't think people quite grasp how, especially people in America, how beneficial the unilateral and unipolar world order that America created uh after World War II, how beneficial that has been to us. And they don't believe in that, though. They think it's woke as fuck. And that's being attacked right now. And when you decide to focus on some cosplayers and communists who like wave the Communist Manifesto right now, who just graduated high school, it just doesn't feel like you really take the threat very seriously.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it feels like Hutch is more afraid of a leftist revolt happening in like 30 years than a fascist takeover happening like this
currently.
I
year.
think I
that we
think
are in
what
the
he
midst of.
believes I think what he believes is that these lefties aren't even gonna vote. They're basically MAGA but hiding,
I just I
That's what he
don't
believes,
think,
I think.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't think, because like, you know, they're at a starting point. At the very least they're not saying we need to put people, they're not saying what
In
the right
concentration
is.
camps.
Yeah, like,
They're not
and
they're not advocating for rounding up like innocent men, women, and
Yeah.
children off the street, mass deporting them without due process. I've yet to hear a single lefty
Yeah,
like say
exactly.
that's a
Mm,
good idea.
What I
And it
did see was that I did see some leftists rejoice when USAID got um
Yeah. And I think
well,
that is a problem more of stupidity because
yeah.
let's be honest, almost no one knows what USAID actually did,
Yeah,
right?
USAID
Like,
was
yeah.
that was one of the most I say it before, but one of the most heartbreaking things in
but
my
like
lifetime to
if you
happen.
if you were to ask a lefty, like, do you think the US should be providing malaria drugs to children in Africa? My guess is 90% or plus would say, yeah, that's a thing we should probably be doing, right?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
should
The
we be
problem is,
helping countries build their infrastructures overseas? Yeah, probably, right? Like,
I
yeah,
think
um,
I think the problem is that USAID historically aided the CIA or whatever the fuck, and because of that, they're like just completely out of principle against it, even though
it,
it does help other countries with
dude,
their
it did
issues, obviously.
so much good. And it was a great soft
Yeah.
power tool. That's something that Republicans or not even Republicans, like I guess MAGA, they just don't understand. They don't
mhm.
understand soft power. And I don't know if that comes from a place of like selfishness, like or what, but they don't get soft
I
power.
think they
So
just
They
I
don't get
think
a lot of things. So I probably from a place of just pure stupidity.
yeah,
I
true.
think they're more like everything America touches is bad, and therefore they should have as little soft power as possible because it would mean less American like
Influence
whatever.
and stuff.
Like yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I'd rather it be, somebody's gonna fill this void, and I'd rather it be us than, dude, China's eating our lunch right now. And
China is evil.
yeah, China's
Dude,
evil, dude. Like I think China
I'm not
is
sure.
they committed a real fucking real
Genocide.
genocide against the Uyghurs.
Yeah. And also they literally killed an entire river. I think it was,
Oh
correct me if I'm
yeah.
wrong, Zambia or something like that. Yeah,
Our
they legit like they killed an entire river. Imagine that. An entire ecosystem. Like imagine poisoning an entire river and everything, like people take water from that river, animals survive off of that river. There's animals swimming in the river. There's plants, everything, you know,
yeah,
like everything that goes on this river. There's people that use water, cattle that use this water,
yeah,
and then they
China
just
is only
completely poison it. Yeah.
they in my sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No.
they're not going to think about the benefit of the people in the surrounding area. They really are like just going to think of themselves. I mean, at least you could say, well, I don't know about this administration, but in previous administrations, we would help the populace we were with and stuff like that. So I don't know. China really is like the number one threat. Russia, I
Yeah,
mean,
especially
is
because
dying.
China,
So
like the way they do aid is mainly through debt.
yeah,
So they put
exactly.
like a bunch of countries into debt traps that they can't repay. And then they obviously, because they will default on the debt, it will just
Yeah, it keeps adding
get
up.
China to repossess like a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Belt and Road Initiative, it really showed how that was basically just it was very obvious it was just an interest for China because there are roads that lead to
Oh yeah.
nowhere in places like it's a real problem.
Mm.
I think China is one of the most malicious actors on the world stage.
Of course. And they
But
don't give a fuck who they like support either. So like
yeah,
you have a bunch of like regimes that are clearly don't give a fuck and will butcher a bunch of people, and they still send them all the aid and support they want.
Yeah, kind of UAE-esque and that kind. Is it the UAE or Qatar that funds the
No, it's
SAF?
the UAE.
Okay, I thought so.
RSF. Yeah.
RSF, yeah, my bad, my bad. Yeah, the UAE is one of the people on the world stage that's growing and benefiting from this multipolar world order that we were talking about because they see a clear path to have a sphere of influence, and it is
Yeah.
causing other countries like Saudi Arabia to band together with Pakistan, Egypt, and I don't remember the fourth country, and create a Middle Eastern NATO. So not really super related, but
I
interesting.
don't know. Middle East is cooked, bro.
Is it cooked?
Yeah. There's nothing there that gives me any hope for the future, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Did you see the recent reports
Like
about
except
our
for like
sorry?
except for like Syria, nothing there gives me any hope for the future.
And even Syria is a little interesting right now.
Yeah, Syria is like balancing on a tightrope. It's not exactly
Yeah,
easy, obviously.
I hope the people of Syria get a representative government because they have
Mhm.
suffered for far too long, dude. Far too long
Right.
over that dictatorial regime. But
Yep.
to talk about the Middle East, Iran, did you guys see the reports that that we may not have destroyed all of their nuclear stockpile? I mean, I
Yeah.
knew that wasn't gonna.
I mean, it's been rumored. But the deal is like, okay, how much are you actually gonna destroy even if you try, right?
Exactly.
The whole point is that it's not accessible anymore, and they have, made it not accessible. They've tried to like look and see what happened at the strike site, but obviously you can't really do that without triggering some alerts with the surveillance.
I guess
Um,
I think they're gonna keep trying, and it's like we get to a point where are we just gonna go in there every 3 to 6 months and bomb them if we see signs of them trying to, we need a better solution. Honestly, what we really should have done is support the protesters so we wouldn't have this regime anymore.
yeah, but the problem is, again, like, since this is like my topic, that I did a little bit of research, and we come to certain problems where the US doesn't have the necessary assets to actually support a opposition group. There is an opposition group, but there's no way to support it really. You can't invade Iran. Because right now you have like a carrier and then like a carrier strike group, and then you have like a bunch of assets like in surrounding countries to like make sure there's as little fallout as possible. But the problem is there's no way anybody would ever support an invasion of Iran. Ever. You
Well,
have
yeah, we don't need to invade them.
well, if you're gonna help them with like regime change, you're gonna need boots on the ground. It's not you're not gonna be able to do it without.
Okay, go on.
Now you have that issue. You don't have the. It's going to cost a lot of fucking money, and honestly, it shouldn't be the U.S. paying that.
I disagree. This is so worth it. That I think that it's so worth it. I mean, this is an actor on the world stage who funds terrorist regimes, is always constantly aggravating our allies in the Middle East. I mean, they're the big baddie, dude. You know what I mean? Like, whatever
I
it
understand
takes.
that.
And our military is badass, We can do almost anything in the world.
I think you overestimate what your military can do, especially in a country as big as Iran and as like the way the geography looks like in Iran. You have a regime deeply embedded in that country with a bunch of assets that you cannot, like, you obviously can strike as much as you want, but the problem is still gonna be they're gonna be deep underground, and the likelihood that you're gonna get them is probably not that high. Okay? There's no B-2 bombers. Well, if they do go there, that's gonna be a different scenario. But the problem is that, okay, let's say for the sake of argument, you fund an oppositional group and you go and do regime change in Iran. You're gonna have a bunch of people that are still subscribed to the regime, be it like ex-IRGC at that moment, or whoever other malicious actors are gonna be there, and they're gonna wreak havoc on the streets. There's gonna be a whole lot of terrorist attacks. And I know people have said this to me, like, "Oh, but the Iranian people, they wouldn't do that because they hate the regime." Yes, they hate the regime, but there's other people that don't. There's other people that don't hate the regime, and there's people that don't just hate the regime, they hate the Shiites. There's been terrorist attacks by the ISKP in Iran before. And yeah, they're not as deeply embedded as in other Middle Eastern countries, but it's gonna be a fucking breeding ground for them because there's gonna be little to no law enforcement because obviously everything needs to be set up first. And it's a huge fucking country. It's not that hard to get explosives and get guns to go and kill a bunch of people. And I just like, okay, you go do regime change and then it's gonna be the country will be fractured. The country will literally be fractured into different regions that just fight each other. And this is
I
like
I think that's
regime
the
change is like really
disaster
easy to say.
scenario,
Yeah,
to be honest.
but
I
it's
don't,
always the
because
fucking problem with the Middle East.
yeah,
This is always the fucking problem. This
but does
has
that mean
happened
we
more
don't
than
try and we
once.
continue to let their people be oppressed? I mean, at some point we have to. They killed 30,000 protesters. They should not be getting
Mhm.
away with that. The head of
Of course
the
not.
IRGC should be, obviously, I think the Ayatollah should be, I mean, taken out. And I don't think it necessarily has to be this huge shift overnight. I think it can be done piecemeal and slowly. I do think the Ayatollah and the head clerics are the only ones really pushing for killing all these people and stuff.
No,
Here's my problem, right?
if we do it,
Sorry.
if we do it, we have to commit fully to it and not do any kind of like half-assed shit, right?
Oh, you
Like,
mean
Exactly.
like we did
and
in
we have to have,
Afghanistan and
yeah,
fucking
yeah, we have
Iraq
to
and
have
yeah.
not only an entry plan, but also an exit plan because
Yeah.
I'm sick of
Mhm.
watching the people in my generation get sent to decades of fucking war, right? So,
No,
like, I'm a millennial. I
I get
watch
it.
just about a shit ton of my friends do 2, 3, 4 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'm really kind of sick of that. However, I do understand the need to get rid of the IRGC and the Ayatollah. So if we're going to do it, then we need to do it the right way, right?
Amen.
And
There needs to be like a
yeah, like
congressional
no
vote
just
and
like
stuff like to actually go to war in my opinion, because
yeah, like
like this, we're
no
not
just dropping
standing
a
on our
couple bombs.
morals.
Yeah, no just dropping of a couple bombs here and there. No, like, oh, we'll get rid of the bad guys, but then like we're gonna leave and it's gonna be a fucking mess, and then we're gonna have to come back and then it's still gonna be a fucking mess. Like either
Yeah.
do it the right way or don't. Shit or
Oh,
get off the pot.
the thing is that
Okay.
Americans are very hesitant to losses of enduring war. Like they hate the idea, and obviously I hate the idea of losing American soldiers too, but I kind of think I don't know. I think it's a little selfish because you're
This
helping
has to
set up
be
a
like a
democracy in another place. Anyways,
this has to be a coalition effort. This is not something that just the US
Also,
should
yeah,
do.
big
Um,
yes.
however, the problem I see, for example, with um killing a bunch of high-ranking people in Iran is that Shiites You have the Ayatollah, who's basically the head of the majority of Shiites, right? If you kill him, you will make him a martyr. The problem with that is there's a whole lot of people that believe like Shia Islam is obviously a bit different than my like denomination of Islam, but they believe that like it's the end of times, apocalypse is coming if the Ayatollah like dies a martyr death, and they're gonna think, oh, and they're just gonna go into their religious
Well, he doesn't
nut
have to
job
die a
zealotry.
martyr death. We can do the CIA special. You know what I'm saying? We have the
If
CIA.
you, I don't look if you yoink him. I don't know how you're gonna do that. I'm not even sure if he's in the country. Not gonna lie, I don't even know where the fuck he is, because there were reports he was in a bunker, but also there's also reports where a bunch of IRGC commanders just like fled the country, because like if you're in a bunker and there's a bunch of riots and you're stuck in a bunker, you can't get out, obviously, right?
You're
It's a
forever
problem.
stuck in the bunker.
If
That
you're
is a
s-
bit of an
if you're
issue.
right, so
Like
he
in
probably
Zomboid.
I'm not
Sorry.
even sure he's actually in Iran. He so like you have a whole bunch of issues that are not gonna be solved by just regime change. This is my problem. And these things need to be planned out accordingly with a proper opposition group that will be able to not just leave a void in the
Yeah.
power or like right?
Yeah.
The you need to actually properly plan this with all the surrounding nations, properly plan this with all your allies, because this is going to need more than just the US.
Well,
And a carrier strike group is not enough.
yeah, and
I'm just
I don't
telling
see
you that.
this now.
Just like a carrier strike group in next to Venezuela was not enough to actually like
Oh,
the-
well, there's some news happening
right.
about Venezuela, actually. I read somewhere that the opposite. Here, let me look at it real quick. Something about the opposition leader and how they are. I gotta look back on it. But now we're able to have a nuanced conversation and bring in all aspects. What do we think the Trump admin is actually going to do? Because they don't think this hard, so.
No, they don't fucking know what they're gonna do until they do it.
You think? I think there are signs that Trump is thinking about doing something with putting a
I don't think
carrier
Trump thinks
strike
about
group.
anything but himself.
Well,
The people around
definitely.
Trump might be thinking about something, but Trump himself, not so much. And he will listen to them only on days that it suits him to listen to them. So who the
Oh.
fuck knows what they're gonna do?
So this is coming from the Guardian. Sorry to cut you off there, but prominent Venezuelan opposition prominent Venezuelan opposition politician detained hours after released. So it looks like he's been kidnapped by the regime. So that's good. It sounds like we really fixed that country, and
Right.
it sounds like they
Probably.
are on the right path by kidnapping their opposition leaders. That's good.
Right.
Yeah, Trump really changed the regime there. So I remember I had people in my chat saying the Venezuelan people are celebrating. They're cheering. They're celebrating. You can hear their voices if you listen.
It's a
No.
capitalist liberal democracy.
Yeah, it's
now.
going to be a liberal fucking God, such idiots. And this is just the start. Like now that the regime has shown how weak they are, there's going to be even like I wouldn't be
I don't think
surprised
he's
if
gonna care. I don't think he's gonna care.
well, he's going to need to care when there's civil turmoil going on and we have thousands of people, coming to America. Immigration, that's his thing.
We got a dip. I will text you next week, same time.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay.
Later, Rootsy.
right.
It was
Bye.
good seeing you.
Love you.
That was me, Rootsy. Go follow her on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I have her Twitter link in my description box.
Hey. There we go. I need that. So I don't have Twitter. That's the unfortunate thing. Anyways, there is some Epstein news that I did kind of want to go over if you are
Mm-hmm.
willing to talk about that.
Sure.
So have you seen the cannibalism stuff coming out about Epstein and
No.
yeah,
Oh,
so
jeez.
there's apparently some claims of cannibalism. I've been looking around on it for I saw it on Reddit and just people in general talking about it. Apparently there's somebody associated with it, but on the political notes of this, the DHS or not DHS, the DOJ is just doing so bad right now in this. It's a historic levels of incompetence, honestly.
I heard
They
you can actually unredact the files
Oh yeah, there I
again.
mean again, yeah. I saw that
Mm,
too. Mudahar did a video about it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
apparently if I don't remember what the exact process was, but people have been able to unredact victim information. And that's what's so frustrating and why their incompetence really is like it's hurting
Yeah.
us because they're re-victimizing these people after years of
I mean,
probably
there's
therapy.
also a group of the victims that are saying they don't care and they want them all out. Like, they just want the files out so everybody knows.
Yeah, I mean
But obviously,
that's
it's not going to be all of the victims because there's obviously some victims that don't want to be out in the public light.
well something else on the files just of the release is that these are supposed like this is only half of what we were promised, and I mean not even half when you count the redactions. And the administration is trying to say that that's all of, this is it. So, do you think there's going to be any more drops, or what do you think
I mean,
about that?
probably.
You think
Because
so?
Congress asked for them, yeah. I mean, they can't really bypass Congress like that.
Well, I
Unless it's
mean,
something that actually has to do with like national security. Because if it's something that's like really, really classified, has to do with national security, they are not gonna like things that have to do with the identities of agents and stuff like that. They're not gonna release because that would obviously burn the agents.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
the redactions are something else. Like, all the co-conspirators, we know of at least 10, but the victims say there's like
yeah,
20. That there's
there's a lot. Like it's
20.
actually insane to me because I didn't expect the fallout from the Epstein files to be this big because this has affected not just, the US
Yeah,
and
it's
like I guess the
European
UK. It
politics.
yeah, like you have politicians like fucking resigning in Europe and people like not I think the French government was like is going to start an investigation now because of it
Hell
into
yeah.
like who like which is like great.
Yeah,
I
but
just wish
it's
like there was some kind of like communication between the governments somehow, without because how are you going to do an investigation if the way you find out about it is like things that are like now public knowledge?
well, I mean that
Like the
I
you
do think there might be a case for yeah, with public knowledge there is even with the what's in the public though. I mean there is damning stuff about certain
there
people,
needs to be more
unfortunately.
cooperations,
What's
especially
it?
between like the governments are allied, right? Even though obviously you have Five
Rhetorically,
Eyes, you have
yeah,
right, you
Trump
have
is
Five
like
Eyes, so you
against
have
it,
like
yeah.
Five Eyes basically is supposed to. Well, there's been like some controversy because they're like scared of like sharing intel now with
Oh
the
yeah,
US
well we'll be
because it
talking
might
about
not
that with
be leaking.
the Tulsi Gabbard stuff is
Mhm.
insane, dude. But anyways,
And
about Five
and
Eyes.
like you have other governments that obviously are allied with the US, but that they're not like you have clear implications of like a bunch of people that are not just US citizens that clearly are have done crimes
Yeah.
against U.S. citizens, right? These are against U.S. citizens, against European citizens, against UK
Oh
citizens,
yeah,
people
it's
that, right? Now, why the fuck didn't any administration beforehand let other governments know that other citizens got implicated into this huge network of literal like sex slavery,
yeah, I
like,
think it's a good
right?
question to ask. I
Like, this isn't just about the Trump admin. This is about all the other admins that knew about this, because these files are obviously not from this administration. They've been known by other administrations beforehand.
yeah,
It
I
just
will say there
boggles my mind.
was what I say about for Biden, there I mean, he did bring new charges against Ghislaine, but I do find it, I do find it weird uh that I find it weird that they didn't at the yeah, like you said, at least cooperate with other nations and let them know. But I think what I will say what Trump is doing now is just absolutely insane by not even there's not even going to be it doesn't even seem there's going to be an investigation at all, any investigation done. None of these people are going to be held accountable, it feels like, at least during this administration. Do you think
Lovely.
there will be any accountability on the side of America, or
Maybe not this admin.
yeah, well, I think definitely not this admin. I mean, I personally, I've
Yeah.
said it before. Oh, fuck, I forgot. So the video I'm playing on my stream right now, I
Mhm.
can't tell if it's anti-Semitic or not because Jeffrey Epstein, right, is fighting
Yeah.
Diddy, and he shoots out to counter Diddy's baby oil attack. He shoots out Stars of David.
Oh my god.
Now, I don't know if that's anti-Semitic or not. I can't quite tell. Is it I think it's probably a little anti-Semitic.
Any Jews in my chat right now? Can you give him the pass or something like that?
Well, I mean, it's pretty great what's going on right now. I mean, this is
I mean, I can't see it, but
oh,
I
here.
can
Yeah.
imagine what
Yeah,
you're
I'll
saying.
here, I'll share it. It's why not share with the class? I think it's a worthwhile venture. The other day I was watching the
Where did you
Chris
share it?
here, I'll just send the link. That way you can enjoy it. It does have copyrighted music, so be careful.
I mean,
But
it doesn't matter because I'm not monetized anyways.
well, the copyright will I don't think it lets you appear in the algorithm as much if you
Oh.
yeah. That's
Oh,
something I
well.
had to discover the hard way cuz I kept playing some sick ass vibes. Like sick ass guitar music in the beginning of my stream, kind of like Hutch does. But it kept getting copyright claimed, and I was like, Jesus, why the hell is nobody clicking on my videos? And that would be why, because I kept getting
I'm
the
not sure where you
copyright.
sent it. If you send it
Oh,
into
I
side
sent it.
chat, I can't see
Oh, you can't
because
see the
I
side
am not.
chat.
Because yeah, perms.
Dude,
But
I got you. I'll ask Kalinda to give you. Looks like you already did. I'll ask Kalinda to give you perms. Anyways, in terms of other Epstein news, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really. I thought the cannibalism stuff was crazy. I am starting to see on the right, especially that like Aspen's starting to perpetrate this. They think Epstein is still alive.
what?
Yeah, they've meme-holed themselves into Epstein being alive. And
That's insane.
yeah, I know. I think that is just a byproduct of how like the right is always gonna conspire. They're always gonna do conspiracies, dude. It's
Yeah.
insane. And also something else. Like there's some weird conspiracies going on the right. Like they're like analyzing every detail. They're like, this person doesn't have the right tattoo. It's kind of nuts, honestly. But I think that's about.
Like I don't
What's up?
understand.
Go on.
What I don't understand is like, bro, where could he have been all this time if he's
Well,
if
you
he's
know
not
what
fucking dead?
well, you know what they're saying, right? Israel.
Is he's back on his island?
No, they're
Nah.
saying that's
Okay.
what they're saying. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Oh my god.
They always God, it's this obsession with Jewish people that I just don't understand. You see it in all the conspiracies, and I think it comes from the outgroup, people just being like, it's in, that's why Hitler was, that's why Hitler did it. It's an easy outgroup to just point at because they, carry traditions and stuff. And I just think that's so stupid, honestly. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's
Especially because America.
I'm pretty sure if he actually went to Israel, he would probably just be killed somewhere. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
probably.
I
Exactly, dude.
don't think anybody would be okay with him being in Israel.
Now, that's an interesting question. Do you think he was killed or do you think he actually committed suicide? I have an interesting take on that, but I would like, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't think it matters.
I do think it does actually, and here's why. I think that there is some definitely questions to be asked about Jeffrey Epstein's death. And I think they're being extremely cagey about it a lot of the time, which is a weird sign.
Yeah,
But
let's say for
also,
the sake of argument let's say for the sake of argument they did kill him.
well, we do have to
Now
ask who
what?
is they, and I think it's much more reasonable to
Well,
say
it's probably Trump.
I
Okay,
do
it's
think
probably
it
Trump.
exactly, dude. I
Look,
think
but
Donald Trump.
let's say for the sake of argument, okay, Trump fucking killed the guy. What is gonna happen?
Well, I
Like,
think
does it actually change any of the outcomes of this? I don't think it does.
yeah, maybe not. Well, I think for the next administration, that's going to be, and I think for history books, that's going to be something to note that if that actually happened. And that is corruption on like a scale we just haven't seen. Someone being ordered to be killed,
I'm not sure.
at least
The
seen
thing
in
is
this
just
day and
that
age.
this one, I think assassinations are more common than you think. I just don't believe that they're that like overt.
Yeah, exactly.
Because assassinations
Incompetent.
happen all the time. They happen all the fucking time. And yeah, you're gonna see like maybe here and there's gonna be a little bit of news like, oh, this guy got assassinated or whatever. You're never gonna be like as concerned about who did it until it's like something that is actually somewhat politically motivated, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is definitely
Yeah. The thing
like
is
if
with
he, I guess
Epstein
then
is that
I think
Epstein's
it's go on.
Epstein's legacy goes beyond party lines. You cannot
I
say
would disagree about that now, because like
no. It's
you don't see any Democrats
a lot of
opposing
people.
the Epstein files coming out, though.
No, they do this now because of Trump.
Well,
They don't oppose it now because of Trump, right? Beforehand, a lot of Democrats also oppose this stuff.
Well,
Because
because
of
it
Bill
was,
Clinton.
I disagree. The reason
Right.
we opposed it is because we thought it was fucking nuts. It was a big fringe conspiracy. We accepted that Jeffrey Epstein died, and we didn't really see a need to we had bigger fish to fry.
Well, you're gonna have a bunch of oversight committees that know about this.
I don't know how much, like, what do you mean by, you mean like the House
You have a
Oversights
lot of
committees and
insiders.
stuff?
Yes, you have a lot of insiders that know about this. You have a lot, and these are not.
Well, it seems like they know
once
about as
again,
much
this
as
is not a
us, to be quite honest.
No, because they like oversight committees that have clearance that can see these things, that can request like data from these
Well,
specific institutions.
Well, I don't think the DOJ has complied for a majority
No,
of
but
the
I'm
requests right now,
sure
and
past DOJs have complied.
I don't think so. Well, I'm sure it just wasn't in the public consciousness at the time. There was no Epstein File Transparency Act. There was no House Oversight Committee into the death of Jeffrey Epstein at the time. It wasn't in the public consciousness. And to be honest, we thought it, I mean, at least coming from my perspective, I really did think like Jeffrey Epstein probably killed himself, and I don't,
I mean,
I
I'm
don't think
pretty
it's
sure
like a big grand conspiracy.
as a European, I heard a lot of fucking shit when he first died. Like the
Well, yeah,
fucking
when he
internet
first
was
died.
ablaze with it.
When he
Yeah.
first died, for sure. But it definitely died down, especially after COVID. You know, COVID happened
Oh,
in
hi,
between
Miritzi.
that. Oh, what up,
That meeting could
Ritzy?
have been an email.
Oh, shit. Well, welcome back. I hope your email's long meeting went well. We're just talking about Epstein and why I personally think that, like, it's much more in the public consciousness right now. That's why the past administrations didn't really pursue anything. I don't think it's like, because, like, look at all these people being implemented. I don't think it's a grand conspiracy necessarily, because look at all these people being implemented. They're ghosts of the past, in my opinion. At least on the Democrat side, like Bill Clinton.
The least shocking thing to ever come to light.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Bill Clinton, yeah, we knew he was an oddball. He did good things, but in, like, while in office, but I'm not gonna, like, if he's a pedophile, send him to jail, dude. It's not that hard for me to say, but for the right, it is really hard to say. Like, if
Yeah.
Donald Trump is a pedophile, he needs to be.
Oh, right.
And there's more evidence that Donald Trump is a PDF file than there is Bill Clinton is. And I'm saying send Bill Clinton to jail if, you know.
Right?
I personally, I don't think, okay, unless there's like the next administration really fucking decides to be extra gung-ho about prosecuting this whole problem and actually do something productive, right? And actually put people behind bars that deserve to be behind bars or worse. I think unless that happens, I'm not gonna have any fucking hopes or
Well,
dreams that
I think there is
any of this will actually bring anything.
It seems like there's a thirst for that, like in the American consciousness, and I think the Democrats are tapping into that. Now, I don't know if it's going to depend on the political atmosphere in 3 years, because right now I think there is like a want for justice for these people, and I think there's a hunger for these people to face justice, you know, and be behind bars. I don't know how the American public will feel about that in 3 years. It may just be constantly turned up if Donald Trump continues to act the way he does. So, I don't know. I do think though, that at least some people that broke the laws in the Trump admin are going to be prosecuted. Like
Yeah.
I don't know who's. I wish God Trump probably is going to pardon himself. Watch. I think he will. He's going
Wait,
to
what
do
was?
it.
No, he has immunity, doesn't he?
Yeah, but not for future crimes. I guarantee he's gonna pardon himself for the fucking future crimes he
Oh,
does.
for sure.
He is.
He's gonna
I do. You know,
yeah.
I say that in jest, but he
Does it even
will.
work that way?
He'll make it work that.
Um,
He'll
Just the
say it
nobody's
works that
ever
way, and he'll
yeah,
fucking.
nobody has ever tried to do it. It's an untested theory, but I guess we'll find.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna find out. Gonna find out if it
There's
holds
no
up.
way. That's retarded.
You
You
say
would
that.
think.
You say that, right? But there's talks of pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, so
Oh, he's definitely gonna pardon her.
you
He's definitely gonna pardon
think?
Puff Daddy too. Yeah, and Puff Daddy for sure.
If you watch my stream, P. Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein are battling it out, and I don't know. There's a certain part in this where I can't tell if it's anti-Semitic. It's where essentially, let me give you so to counter P. Diddy's oil attack, baby oil attack, Jeffrey Epstein sends out a hurl of Stars of David. And I don't know if that's anti-Semitic or not. I can't tell. I'm not Jewish myself, so.
This is such a weird thing.
This is
Anyways.
why RAM costs $900 for Jeffrey Epstein and P. Diddy to be kicking each other's ass. But anyways, is there any more Epstein news? We kind of covered a lot of the what are some of the European leaders that are going down because of this?
Andrew?
I mean,
Well, yeah, Prince
Here, I
Andrew's
think
number one.
I think there's like issues with Keir Starmer's government where like I think some minister or something is implicated and he's gonna resign, or he already resigned. I'm not kept up to date with that.
Is the Starmer ones we like? They're the cool guys, right?
They're the okay guys. They're
Okay,
not
okay, guys.
great, but also not terrible.
Okay. Well, I heard Labor is the one I gotta be afraid of.
Yeah, that's the Keir Starmer government.
Oh no, Labor is the good one. UK politics is so
Yeah.
complicated. Blue is we go with blue out here. Blue team good.
No, that's the Tories. I think that's the demons.
Tories are the demons. What was that one
Yeah.
party that was MAGA? There was a MAGA party, right? That's gaining popularity.
Oh, that's Reform.
Reform. Yep, there we
Mhm.
go.
Guy, how many people in your chat do you think are Russian bots?
Probably like 50%, I'd imagine.
Right? They're so crazy. I'm sorry, that was such a random interruption.
No,
Your
you're
chat is so
good.
fucking
It's so
They are
crazy.
fun.
Well,
I'm so glad that my chat is like really fucking calm all the fucking time, and it's just like a bunch of people that I usually talk to or
Mm.
chat
Jotun-
with.
Jotun
And
spin
it's
the fuck out of your chat right now, Mina.
Yeah, love you, Jotun.
Are you hitting enter
Uh.
after every word, Jotun? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, good for them. Luckily, since a lot of them, I've noticed my age bracket is 65 plus, so I'm introducing
Yeah.
a way for people to call in using their phone number so they can get excited for that.
No.
Right?
I
Good
know,
for you.
right? Yeah, like everybody, I mean, if you're on the YouTube shorts, you got a phone, bubs. I know Discord might be a little Discord's too hard for a lot of them, you know, so we're gonna finally know. We're gonna finally hear the voice of America.
Do you want to move on to the Tulsi Gabbard stuff?
I did have just to talk about the DHS government shutdown stuff. If you guys know what's going on there, if you wanted to talk about that.
I've heard some stuff about Tulsi Gabbard and the whole, like, what was it, whistleblower.
Can we stop dead naming her, please? Her name is Cruella DeVille. Let's
Oh,
call her
you're
Vibra.
right, Corella. Yeah, old Corella. Well, if it's interesting, if you combine her and the head of DHS, you actually do have Corella Deville. Good, think about that for a
Christy
moment.
Nome
Yep,
and
Christy Nome
Tulsi
and
Gabbard.
yep,
Right?
Tulsi Gabbard. So
Right? 'Cause-
what
Yep.
probably happened was in the lab they split
They split
Corella
them.
Deville up. Exactly.
I watched 101 Dalmatians. Like I've been watching that constantly with my daughter,
Oh hell
and
yeah.
I just have the fucking song stuck in my head.
Cruella
Cruella Deville,
Cruella
Cruella Deville.
He
That-
If
doesn't
she doesn't scare you,
You know what's funny? Well, I don't know if it's quite funny or not, but that was like the during the time when I was in like a really that video was playing in a really bad daycare. So that's like the poor daycare that like I had to go to for 2 years. So that's like and they only played that movie. That was like the movie. You guys are good. You get to see 101 Dalmatians. Let's go for the 500th time. I don't know why. Like, how do you not buy a new? Anyways, besides the point. In terms, just to talk about the shutdown, I don't think that the Democrats should fund the DHS until we get these concessions. Right now, the Republicans are essentially saying, okay, we understand about the body cameras. We understand about couple other things, but something they're not conceding on is the roving patrols. And they're essentially saying, oh no, ICE can racially profile. That's okay. That's what they're implying. Yeah, ICE can racially profile. That's fine. It's fucking insane, dude. And it's not like ICE is gonna run out of funding necessarily. They're funded with the big beautiful bill, but people will start to feel the pain in things like TSA, in the TSA and stuff like that. So I'm all for a partial
Big
government.
Beautiful Bill is the dumbest name ever because it
So
is
stupid.
it's a law, so you're literally just calling it the Big Beautiful Law.
Yeah, the big beautiful law. Well,
You don't
it's
say
a
it's a law.
messy law too, the way they introduced it. It's not even like proper. Of course it's a
way the
continuing
name-
resolution,
Put
so
word bill in the title. Like
it's stupid on so many levels. It's just bad politic, dude.
Right.
But I like the way Jeffrey always calls it the big ugly bill. Makes me laugh. I don't know. And Republicans with the big ugly bill. Shout out to Jeffries, by the way. I think he's been absolutely kicking ass
Yeah.
throughout all
Alleviating
of
billion-
this. Huh?
oh yeah,
below-
wasn't there?
billionaire bill. I don't know about Jeffrey's kicking ass.
I think he
I mean,
has been. What do you?
I think about the. Have you guys heard about like the whole Obama thing with
What
like
about it?
the racism?
Thanks.
Oh
Obama.
yeah. No.
Like,
Are you talking about
Trump
the?
posting
Yeah.
a racist thing about Obama, and
I think it's badass
Yeah.
that Jeffries is fucking. Well, I mean, I understand why he's upset. I don't understand, but as a black man, I'd assume that that's pretty fucking. That's not gonna fly with you. So I understand why he's pissed, and hell yeah.
I mean, yeah, but also apparently the Republicans also condemned it.
Yeah, the Republicans are condemning
Yeah.
it too. Like,
Yeah.
no one on the, like, I saw obviously Thomas Massey. I think Thomas Massey is the way the Republicans need to go. I think our country would heal if we had like more Thomas Masseys. You know what I mean? Trump hates that guy. He hates Thomas Massey.
Is that the Kentucky guy?
Yeah.
Or is that somebody else?
I
yeah.
don't know if
It's
he's
because-
from Kentucky, but I forget what
It's
state
because
he's
like
from, but-
Kentucky got really fucked over by the tariffs and by the anti-Canada talking points and shit like that. So
Let me look it
yeah.
up. Yeah, but well, he's the author that signed on to Ro Khanna, that co-authored with Ro Khanna.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the way they need to go, because he seems a lot more bipartisan, and it's just frustrating that I always say this, we don't have we only have one functioning party. It's the Democratic Party. The other party is completely captured by one person and doesn't work. Like, it just straight up doesn't work. It's not working how it should.
Epic fail is starting
Yeah.
to look like your accent guy.
He what?
Santa Cruz surfer ass accent from Epic Fail in Mina's chat.
Oh, shout
Yeah.
out.
He is the most California sounding Kansas person I
Yeah,
have
shout
ever
out.
met.
I love all my Californians out there, but I am unfortunate. I don't say unfortunately. I am from Kansas. It's a beautiful spot if you guys want to move out here and start building our population so we can actually do stuff. You know, we
Thanks.
can, you know. Anyways, I think that's it for the DHS related. I just kind of wanted to, give my position that I don't think we should fund them until our concessions are met. And they're reasonable, They don't want to remove the masks and allow them to racially profile. Like, I don't think the American people are gonna be like so enthused to I think we'll have the backing of the American people, because the masks are fucking ridiculous, dude. It makes no sense. What other
Yeah,
agency is allowed to racially profile and wear masks?
it is the
Yeah. It's insane.
cowardly thing ever. Like, you're such a bitch. I'm sorry, you're such a
Oh,
fucking pussy bitch.
definitely.
You're out there doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
LARPing as like some asshole in a bulletproof jacket and in desert camo on the streets of Minneapolis, but you can't fucking show your face. Get the fuck out of here.
not
You're a
only
chicken.
that, like the recruiting of ICE and how they're pushing the recruitment is very weird, and like they're trying to appeal to my generation, the gamers, and I think they're just getting the most racist of us. Like, I don't think anybody joining ICE now is I don't think they like that they like Americans. I think they do just want to beat up people who are brown, to be honest, and sometimes
Oh
shoot
yeah.
Oh
people
yeah,
that they
they're
disagree
just
with.
like, yeah, they're just like insecure little boys wanting to pretend that they're like the superior beings in the world
Right?
by
Like,
running around the streets and like beating up little kids. Like,
and
I
to
don't
be
know what
honest,
like
like,
you're the epitome of
this is why I think I think the Gestapo comparison is pretty apt, honestly, because
right.
this is what, they literally ask papers, please. Like, that's what they do to these people.
And
And
also, I do have to
Yeah,
go
it's
back to the
insane.
camouflage thing. Like, why the fuck do you think you need camouflage in Minneapolis, Minnesota?
well,
Like, you're dressed like you're in Fallujah. These are not the same places.
oh,
Like,
I know.
what are
They're
you doing?
The way they present themselves is completely
It's
adversarial.
yeah.
It's not to help the community.
I mean, I read a newspaper article the other day about like the way ICE has been recruiting people. Well,
Mhm.
first what they did is they banded together both ICE agents, like existing ICE agents, and existing border control officers, right?
Yeah.
So they banded them together like as if they're like one big group. And now what they're doing is they're bringing in retired ICE agents, retired border control people. They're bringing in people that are just vets and want to join ICE, right? And
Mhm.
instead of actually putting them through all the training that all the other ICE agents went through, they give them a virtual run through. You have to sit on a Zoom call
Oh my
to like
God, bro.
learn about how to be an ICE agent. There's no real like actual
Yeah, the training, that is one thing I think the Republicans are willing to concede on, but we need so
like
much more. That this agency, honestly, like with the defund the police stuff, I understand why that came across bad, even though it did bear fruits in the end, in my opinion, in terms of police reform. But I understand why that made people kind of weary. ICE, on the other hand, I don't know if this agency necessarily even needs to exist in the form that it does. Like ICE agents need to be actual, like how a FBI agent is a well-trained individual who is
well, yeah,
going
but
to
like
coordinate with
obviously
the local PD.
if you have a proper ICE agent that went through all of his schooling and training, you're not gonna if
You're not gonna
everybody
have a
went through
paramilitary
that,
force.
you're not gonna have the issues that you have now. You're not gonna have
Oh,
things that
definitely.
right? Because they're not allowed to, for example, intercept a fucking car with their car, right? That's not something that border police or ICE agents
Oh,
are
definitely.
supposed to
Yeah,
do,
they're
right?
definitely like reaching over what they are
They're
allowed to
doing
do.
things that they learned elsewhere and putting it into their
Oh,
like
definitely.
into whatever they're doing on the streets right now. You have
That's
a
that. Oh, sorry.
and apparently there was a forum of ICE and border
Great.
control agents, and that's like a really old ass forum where you have a bunch of these agents basically writing down like blah 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 what they're saying, like what the current situation in this area
Yeah,
or that area is and shit like that.
for
And
sure.
there's a bunch of ICE agents that are losing their minds because of all of this bullshit, because of these new recruits and
Yeah,
how everything fucking sucks at the
I
moment.
bet.
Like a
I've
bunch
said.
of ICE agents don't even want to do their job because they're overworked. Like they're literally working 7 days a week.
For real, dude, this
And
is exactly why I am, I'm for, like, not eat, like, this is the same argument I use for, like, why, I say police officers are overworked themselves, and, like, we need to think of new ways, but, that's interesting. I didn't know that the previous guard, like, the old guard was, upset with the new recruits. I had no
yeah,
idea about
they are.
that. Wow. I mean, I had a feeling that that might be the case because I don't think ICE in itself is necessarily like a horrible, like, if somebody here is here illegally, that has committed a crime, undocumented. I need to stop saying illegally, undocumented. Um, then and they're not on the local PD's radar, then maybe an agent can come in and show the local PD where they are and help out with a raid. But the way they act right now is, I mean, what other word do you have? Could you call it? But like a Gestapo or something. I mean, what else?
Yeah,
I
they're insane.
I don't really have any other words for it.
They're rabid. Like the way it usually went is that you have an individual that actually got convicted with a crime, right? And they
Hmm.
sit in jail,
Yeah,
and
and
that
they
has
and that tips off immigration once they've been
yeah,
convicted of crime.
and then
Yeah.
they get deported. Like this is not something that like okay, just a random fucking person on the street going to their work or to school or whatever the fuck
Well, these are also
getting
expedited
fucking
removals, so there's no judge signing
yeah.
off on these warrants, like, the ICE is signing off on these like, they are
Oh yeah,
basically
the
just
judicial warrants. That's something else that the Republicans don't want to concede on, which is absolute bullshit and an affront to our democracy. And if you guys have a congressman that uh you know that is read and not signing on to, I mean, a judicial warrant is literally it's one of our, you have to have that to infringe upon our rights, and these administrative, that's what they call them, administrative warrants, as if they have any legitimacy, is just insane. I mean, could you imagine
I'm
an
I'm
agent?
totally okay
Go on.
with somebody that is an immigrant that has committed a crime and got convicted and properly trialed, or
Yeah,
at least
everyone would be
admitted to
convicted
guilt or something like that. Like, if they get deported because of their own actions via committing a crime, then yeah, you fuck around, you fucking find out. You get deported back to your country.
Yeah,
This
but
is
that's not
the
even
fuck.
who the
This like
yeah.
like. But if you have a person, and by the way, undocumented people do pay taxes.
Oh
Some
yeah,
people don't
They're
fucking understand.
huge
Undocumented
benefit.
immigrants pay taxes, even if they don't
They don't get the
themselves
benefits.
benefit from it.
Mhm.
They work in the
They
US,
also
they pay
don't get
taxes.
Well,
they also don't get any welfare assistance whatsoever. They're
Exactly.
and MAGA
disqualified.
will
They
be
don't
MAGA.
they don't get social security. They don't get fucking food
Well,
stamps.
hold
They
on.
are
Medicare, they don't get Medicaid.
Yeah, well,
They
MAGA
don't get
will
Exactly.
rhetorically say that they hate all or illegal immigrants and stuff, but if you actually ask them, they think these people are like, valuable too. They just are being, I don't get it. They're just
they're
And
literally
it's gray, I'm
working the
thinking
jobs that the Americans don't want to
40%,
fucking work.
40%
are
of the
you?
immigrants that are undocumented didn't even cross the border, let alone crossed it illegally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the federal crime only comes from the crossing of the border, not being here
And it is
illegally.
it is
The
a
being here
misdemeanor,
illegally
and
is a civil offense.
I challenge anyone to tell me to point out who amongst us hasn't committed a misdemeanor at some point in time.
I'm pretty
Literally
sure I'm
everyone
committing
has.
one. Never mind.
Also,
You
you
have
don't give a
literally
law. If you don't give a fuck about following the constitutional process to do this shit, I don't want to hear you bitch about people breaking the law. You yourself are advocating for breaking the highest law of the
Well,
land.
yeah,
So
they
you're
are
just fucking scared of brown people.
yeah.
Your life has been futile and useless and disappointing. And instead of being able to look at yourself and be like, hey, maybe it's because I suck, you think that it's because brown people are here. But guess what? Even if you got rid of all of the brown people, your life would still be disappointing because you're a disappointment. You personally.
Are you talking to someone in my chat right now?
All of the crazy.
Oh, I haven't even been checking my chat. I know that it's
I haven't either.
Warzone.
I mean, I checked my chat, but I don't like
Oh,
last
yeah.
time I watched your VOD of the podcast, I realized that your audio was super fucking low. Anybody
Yeah,
could
it should
barely
be
understand what
it
you're
should
saying.
be a lot better right now.
Why is it
Yeah.
2:42 in the afternoon? Why aren't you out in the fields fucking picking my produce since you want
Yeah.
to say that they're taking our jobs? Get off your fat, lazy American ass and go pick me
Dude.
some avocados.
Amen. These aren't jobs, like, we benefit from them doing
Yeah.
these jobs, so we
Like
can do the
construction
higher
side
skilled,
jobs,
like,
literally asks that need a lot of fucking manual labor that nobody wants to fucking do because they either don't want to, or B, are probably higher educated and don't really need to do that job. Like, these are people that just come here, or not come here, but like live there and can't get any other job, so
thank
that's
you,
why they're taking those
Nick,
jobs
for
that
the,
obviously Americans are not
or
gonna
not Nick.
do,
Thank
because
you, Steph,
A,
for letting
Americans
me know
would
about the audio.
want way
I
higher
was really
pay,
concerned about it yesterday.
right?
And also,
last
Americans want to
time.
sit on their computers in the afternoon and talk about how they're afraid of brown people or brown people are invading us. You don't want to go out there and do their jobs. Fuck off with that shit.
No,
Nobody's
they do
buying
not. They do not want to
Like,
go back
it's
and do these
insane.
jobs.
Like,
Yeah.
if you actually wanted to do those jobs, nobody is fucking stopping you. Go.
Well, the
Right?
truth
Nobody's
is, these
fucking
jobs
stopping
are
you.
hard. They're very difficult, and I think we should be welcoming these people that have decided to take on this burden. I mean, this xenophobia is insane and it's completely un-American. I say this all the time.
They're just fucking cowards. Like you people are they're
Amen.
literally afraid of fucking everything.
Well,
They're afraid of gay people, they're
here's
afraid of
what
trans people.
here's what I
And
compare
they're
it. Here's what I say. I think
we're
they
afraid of
think they think America is so weak. The ideology, the culture, the traditions, they think our the ideas of freedom, liberty, and justice for all are so weak that any culture can come in and take it over overnight. And it's frankly embarrassing that they think that way about their country. I don't think
when
that.
the
I
biggest
think our
threat
ideals are dope.
they is them. MAGA is the biggest threat to America. MAGA is the people that are literally setting the Constitution on fire right now. Like
Oh
that
yeah.
is that's absolute truth. You are a bigger threat to the United States of America than any undocumented worker. I would take all of Mexico. Like if every Mexican came here undocumented, I would choose them over fucking MAGA
Oh, I would
every
choose,
day.
dude, think about how much benefit that would have. We would have so many more economic
Like
commerce going on.
this whole vitriol against undocumented immigrants, you could use this vitriol against an actual issue, which are the cartels. Dude,
Amen.
I understand that the southern border is an issue. I completely get it. I get that, like, a lot of undocumented immigrants came with the in the Biden administration. They kind of pushed away the issue until they actually wanted to pass the bill. It failed, right? I get it. I get it. The issue is you're losing your focus instead of actually focusing on the cartels, which are a huge fucking issue. The cartels are probably the biggest fucking threat you have in the southern border.
Well, to be
This is
quite honest, you want to know the reason that, I mean, Republicans don't
and I
want to
ag-
fix this issue. That's why they
No.
no, they don't.
they
They
don't want
don't.
to fix this. Like this is an
The
amazing
problem is
running tool.
the problem is the Republicans don't want to fix the cartel issue, and the Democrats kind of sweep it under the rug because they think it's a poisoned well, right?
Well,
When
I
in
would I
reality,
don't think that's true.
when
Like maybe not
well, they
focusing
kind
on
of
the
do. They don't. They don't.
cartels,
They
but
don't.
we
They don't
floated a bill
necessarily.
to fix immigration.
Yeah, but that was after it became an issue, right?
Well, you know, we're not gonna just pull
I
things out of our ass. We gotta, you know, we gotta know the public
I
wants
look
it.
look. I get the frustration. That's what I mean. I get the frustration of the Republicans about these issues, about how the southern borders are not safe for the communities that are in these border towns. I completely understand. The problem is not with the immigrants that are in the US. The problems are with the cartels that are using this issue. And the more you focus on the immigrants, the less your government focuses on the cartels, which are the bigger issue. The cartels are the ones that are actually abducting people. The cartels are the ones that are actually siphoning in all these fucking drugs and fentanyl. Fentanyl is a fucking big problem
Oh
and
yeah. Well,
should be taken seriously.
well, that's a criticism I do have. I Now I
Right.
could be wrong. Did Biden at least cooperate with the Mexican government to? I feel like I heard news about Biden cooperating with or not Biden, whoever was the
There's
borders are.
only so much cooperation is gonna do. The issue is that the
Well,
cartels are literally a military. They're a militia. They're militants. They have
yeah.
military assets. They have drones. They literally, I think, have a submarine. They have all of these fucking things that you can't. They have shootings in open daylight in Mexico, in all of these other countries that are in Latin America. Like these cartels are literally a death cult.
Oh
And
yeah, I know.
I don't hear enough vitriol towards the cartels from either side. And that's frustrating me because a whole lot of fucking people are dying because people are just not addressing the fucking issue. And this is not just a only the Democrats don't care. this is both sides don't care.
No, I
This
agree.
is a problem. That's why me personally, the immigrant shit, it doesn't fucking matter. It's a fucking distraction in terms of like obviously it matters in terms of like rights, and obviously that it's encroaching on rights of not just undocumented immigrants, but obviously also documented immigrants and US citizens. Yes, this is a fucking big problem
Well-
now, but only the issue is that this could have been handled, I think, before Trump came into office in a way, because the Democrats are really fucking scared of using hard power in a way where they can actually curb a problem before it becomes a problem. This is about preventative issues.
No, I don't think you're
Right?
gonna see that anymore. I do think you're gonna see you're seeing something happen in the Democratic Party where we're a lot more willing to fight, at least at the Republicans. And uh
I have
you know,
a
Trump,
fear that
there was
after the Trump admin, I have a fear that after the Trump admin, the Democrats are going to be so scared of doing anything regarding the southern border that they will sweep it under the rug again. That's
I
like
don't
right.
think
You
so.
have
I think
Republicans that just
we'll see reform
you
by
have
the by 2030.
Mm, you have Republicans that just overshoot the fucking goal and go for absolutely everything that like looks even slightly somewhat related to like Latin America. And then you have like Democrats that then are like, "Oh, that was kind of crazy. Maybe we should dial it back like 50 billion notches," and then do absolutely nothing. This is like this has been usually the problem.
Well, something I did agree a little bit with Trump was he did talk about targeting cartels, but I think he realized that if he did that, then that would quickly start to diminish the immigration problem, the border crossing. I guess it's shut down now, but quote unquote. But I agree that the cartels are a big issue. I guess uh I would recommend working with the government in strikes together, but uh I I agree that is it is a big issue. Um I think one of the reasons the US hasn't interfered too much into Mexico is because they're our closest trading, they're our second, closest trading partner. So it is like if we were to just wanton go in there and start targeting the cartels, that would disrupt what's happening with Mexico's strategy, which is a failing strategy, in my opinion, of hugs, not bullets. But, we have to acknowledge that the Mexican cartel, or not Mexican cartel, the Mexican government isn't necessarily hungry for that type of war right now. They don't want
They're
that.
also scared.
Well, yeah, they're
No,
scared.
I mean there's been a civil war going on in Mexico for fucking ages now. Like there's people dying in the streets every single day because there's just cartel shootouts every single day. And there's not much you can do. The Mexican government already has their military out on the streets. And like like obviously you don't want to go to the fucking American government and say like, "Oh, please, please help us," because at the end of the day, the cartels will find you and fucking shoot you in the head.
Well, unfortunately, for at least the, like for this era, maybe not for previous admins, but for this era, they may have to suck up their pride, and I think that's stupid and it shouldn't happen. But well, that may not even work because look what happened to the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. She fucking
Right.
basically begged for Trump to, put her in power, and he said, "No, I want the previous regime." Which, if you guys missed the beginning, the one of the people associated with the opposition groups in Venezuela just got kidnapped by the government. So isn't that nice? Looks like he really changed a lot of things. Things are really looking up in Venezuela, guys.
It's utopia.
Dude, I guarantee the one oil company that finally decides they get annoyed by Trump constantly calling them, they're gonna send like a couple repair groups, and they're just gonna get like murdered by some guerrilla group that exists within Venezuela. And this thing is not over, and it's kind of it's just so stupid what Trump did. He doesn't know the genie he untucked there. But talking about the cartels, I do think that I would like to see some more fight from my Democratic leaders to defend democracy, because I feel like for the longest time we could focus on more like domestic policy, and the Republicans were so hawkish on democracies, quote unquote, or just war in general, that they would cover that. But now we
I mean,
do
the
kind of
neocon
have
era
to.
is over.
Yeah, the neoconservative era is over, and so
Yeah.
we need something. We need something in the Democratic Party, some people in the Democratic Party that are willing to fight for democracies. That's my number one. Like, if we're not doing that, then why are we even a nation, to be quite honest? Like, let's just fucking sit in the dirt then. Like, that's, what purpose do we have at that point, in my opinion? I don't know.
And I'm not saying that like the fentanyl crisis is just something that you can solve with hard power. I'm saying that all resources need to be used to combat this issue. This is not just get all the immigrants out. This is
Oh, yeah.
get all hands on deck, because millions of people are dying. Get all hands on deck, not just hard power and fucking nuke the fucking cartels.
Here's
which
what
is
it's
not-
like. It's like you got a
you know-
leaky faucet, or you got a leaky pipe, and it's gonna keep leaking, and you're gonna keep having to put a bucket under it, instead
Yeah,
of actually
it's not
fixing
gonna
the
work.
pipe.
You need to obviously, there's all kinds of things you can do. There's all kinds of policies you can do. But obviously, right now, and Mirutsi probably has this issue, is that you're busy right now, obviously having a fucking gigantic forest fire in your own country that needs to be extinguished before you can actually deal with other countries' issues. Like, yeah,
Put on
I
your own
agree.
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's one
like,
of
But I
that's
also believe that like a lot of what Trump somewhat does is not just it's kind of a oh my god, the word is on the tip of my tongue.
you're good.
It's a distraction,
Amen.
kind of,
Yeah.
even though it's not really a distraction. You have a lot of issues right now, but also these issues serve him in a way to distract from other things. Like,
Well, yeah, the
you have
Republicans.
you have the Epstein files that are an issue in and of themselves, right? You have like basically a fucking cabal of pedophiles
Dude,
that
it's insane
are
what's in there, dude.
right.
I mean,
You
some
have a
of
cabal of
yeah.
pedophiles that like have implicated a huge number of other people that have tortured and like absolutely destroyed the lives of thousands of girls. And then you have that's an issue, but then it's also a distraction from, for example, the fucking ICE raids that are happening. That's a fucking issue. That's a huge issue. And that's also a distraction from, for example, how much of an issue the entire fucking administration is and what they've been doing. That is a distraction from like everything that's happening geopolitically is also a distraction. For some reason,
Well,
everything works together in a way to like keep us in this fucking 24-hour news cycle that just keeps going on and on and on and on.
Well-
One thing is so big, and then the next thing is so big, and then another thing is so big, and barely have time to respond to any of these things. It's like,
Well,
yeah, that's exactly what he
that's
wants.
Trump's entire strategy:
That's
distract,
yeah,
deceive, and
that's
deny. That
that's
literally
exactly
is.
what
They
he
don't
wants, because
like here. I have an
he can
example
get
on.
away with so many things
Yeah,
because
look at
he's just
Fox
flooding us
News's.
with everything.
Like, if you look at Fox News's main channel right now, former FBI agent makes bold prediction on the Guthrie. I don't give a fuck about Guthrie. I'm sorry to
Oh,
hear.
the disappearance.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
disappearance. I'm so sorry to hear about that, but who gives a fuck? We literally have some of the most um mind-blowing revelations coming from the Epstein files. We have I think the Epstein files need to be like number one, because the people that did this should be held accountable. And so I
The
get what
amount
you're
of people
saying.
also that
I
get
do think it
fucking
comes from the
that get
right a lot more,
abducted all
but
the fucking time.
what's
Like,
up?
okay, let's say every time there's like a white woman that gets that disappears or gets abducted or some shit like that,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like a huge
like that
news cycle,
Ukrainian
and then
woman.
there's
Yeah.
like, or like a Petito or whatever her name is, Abby
Yeah.
Petito, right? There was like a huge uh huge fucking news meteor cycle about her, and there's like thousands of other women that get abducted every single day
Oh yeah,
that
the
get
gun.
absolutely nothing because either
Well,
they're like Native American and nobody gives a fuck, or they're
look at there are 65 murders in America every day. Every day there's 65 people that are.
That's it.
Well,
I could
I
be
believe that
higher than
actually
that.
that's gun deaths. That's gun deaths. If we let me look that up real quick. I mean, yeah, so there's a lot of murder and stuff that happens that just the news doesn't pick up because it's not politically advantageous. That's why when that Ukrainian girl, excuse me, when that Ukrainian girl got stabbed, it was in the headlines for like 3 months. That's the only time, Republicans will ever give a fuck about Ukraine, is when it fits their, that girl fit their narrative to where. But to be quite honest, I mean, America it's a relatively dangerous country in some terms, but I will say that like in big cities, crime is at a 30-year low, but that's not gonna like catch the headlines necessarily. So it's just kind of the game that like these major organizations play. But that's why there's people like us who talk about the news and give our opinion, and you show that regular people can talk about politics too. I personally wish that I had a functioning Republican Party so I could actually talk about policy instead of how they're protecting pedophiles. I think that would be a lot more fun. It may be a little more boring, but
American cult of personality, you mean?
huh.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, not to, like, he's just, dude, why the fuck does he have to perforate in every aspect of our politic? It's,
Because they are a fucking cult.
yeah, they're a
It is.
cult. It's insane, dude. I really do wish we had a functioning Republican Party. But we should probably get to the Tulsi Gabbard news. If that is some crazy information. What do you guys know about it?
I
Nothing.
heard there was
Oh, really? You know
like
nothing? Really? Oh.
We did not hear the story.
I
Oh,
heard there
wow,
was
this
like
is
a
insane.
whistleblower. I heard there was like a whistleblower that tried to get Congress
Yeah,
to
so
like deal with some issues, but Tulsi Gabbard hid the whistleblower complaint like in a safe or some shit like that. That's like the broad strokes that I
well,
know, like
it's
of what I know
essentially,
on this.
yeah, I mean, well, we don't know much about it because the whistleblower is not
It's obviously classified.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so classified, as a matter of fact, that she can't even tell, or not she, but the whistleblower can't even tell their lawyer about it. It's a really, interesting case. And there's also, you were talking about Five Eyes having an issue with someone on the board of our security who may be leaking stuff. I think that this might be the person. So the accusation isn't against Tulsi herself. It's about somebody in the in her staff, I believe, that is like completely compromised, apparently.
Oh yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
So it's
Right?
not necessarily Tulsi Gabbard. However, I think she's
Chelsea Erdogan
compromised
is
by
also
Russia.
completely. Oh yeah, she is absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, how do you see anything but? She I think that's why. Do you guys remember back in the 12-day war, where they were talking about striking Iran, and Tulsi Gabbard
Oh
was
yeah.
actually excluded from that. So it's actually
Probably 'cause she's
interesting. The
conservative.
leak, the person isn't leaking stuff to Russia. They're actually leaking stuff apparently to Iran.
Ooh.
That
Yeah,
was
plot.
yeah, it's apparently
Plot.
going to Iran. And so you look at how we've been treating Iran, and we've been very, very favorable towards them in a lot of ways. And I think that like I don't know like if that's the case, this could be, I mean, this is unprecedented. We've never had this level of collusion. If like, I guess the idea would be that they're leaking information, very like top secret information, to the Iranian regime and giving them an upper hand in things like diplomacy and stuff like that. And what if like the reports about like this, we really don't know who it really depends on who it is. And it's interesting to hear that it's so top secret that they cannot like they're afraid to even, they can't tell their lawyer about it. I mean, what do you make of that, How do you process that?
I mean, yeah, it has to do with obviously clearance, right?
Yeah,
If
for
you don't have the
sure.
clearance to view certain things, well, yeah, it's it's really, I don't even know. You have a bunch of like factors with this administration that are really hard to keep track of because everybody just seems to have their own interests. Like this is not just something that has to do with like the intelligence agencies. This is something that goes broad and beyond
So this is,
just the intelligence agencies.
yeah,
You,
this is
it's
interesting. Hold
really
on.
like
Yeah, go
you
on.
have
I'll let,
obviously you have Doge completely decapitating all the institutions and the agencies, right? And obviously
I found an
shit like if
article that kind of, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but it kind of speaks to like what I was talking about. On April 17th, a whistleblower contracted, I'm sorry, I hope I'm not being rude.
contacted.
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
I mix that up all the time. A whistleblower contacted the office of the Inspector General alleging that Gabbard had blocked highly classified information from routine dispatch. So she's blocking information from
Yeah.
being given to the proper channels. That's insane. That is a huge
Yeah, and
national
it's
security risk.
and also it's apparently due to highly political issues. Like they did that because the report obviously isn't favorable towards the administration.
Yeah, and
So
this is like
yeah.
really bad for our national security. I've said this from the beginning. Like this, our security apparatus is basically completely down in terms of our intelligence, because the next, like Trump has these agents going on stupid ass tasks. I think he still has them picking up trash around DC. I could be wrong about that, but anyways, he's got them focused on these political investigations that go nowhere, like with James Comey, Letitia James. So how long is it until the next 9/11 2.0 happens, I think that's something that really
I
needs to
mean,
be asked. Like, I don't think these people are. I think that
I
if there
think
is valuable
this is.
information, they might be afraid to tell him.
I think the in terms of like if we're talking terrorist attacks, it's I wouldn't say that far off. Um, you have obviously Islamic State going absolutely bonkers and bananas
Oh
in the
my
Sahel region,
God, dude,
right?
they are going
They're going.
crazy. I'm sorry. I know,
Yeah, I think
dude.
I think
They almost got
they
fucking uranium.
yeah, not just that. They have all kinds. They have fucking ricin. Okay, they have chemical weapons. They
Oh
tried
yeah,
to
dude.
use in India, right? They just get obviously if you have like a bunch of extremists like chemists and engineers and whatever the fuck, you will get these things one way or another,
Oh, Mina,
right?
I do
This
have
is
a
not something you.
question about Middle East, if or anyone in general. Do you think do you think now that we've basically abandoned our Kurdish allies, that they're not gonna have enough power to defend the camp that is protected by the Kurdish fighters, the prison that like over 1,000 or 10,000 people of like children of Islamic State fighters live at, and mothers and stuff.
Um,
I think it's about to get taken
it's a
over,
bit
and you're
more.
gonna
It's a
see.
bit more complicated. It's a bit more complicated because you have a bunch of like
Well,
the
wasn't
Kurds
Syria
are not.
defending it too?
Yeah, you have an issue right now in Syria. You have the issue of like the Kurds are not a monolith, right? You have a bunch of factions within the Kurds that are there's a lot of bad faith actors. There's a lot of like people that don't really know whether they should actually cooperate with the government or not. Epic fail is like losing his mind in my chat right
What's going on? I don't have your chat pulled up.
No, the problem is you have a lot of bad faith actors as well with the Kurds. You have the SDF and obviously the YPG and whatever. And they are clearly not doing what you would think they should be doing, right? Which is like, okay, cooperate with the government, have an autonomous region, assimilate with their military and shit like that.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
the
not happening,
Kurdish
right?
culture is so much
It's
different than a lot of the.
no, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of other minorities in Syria that like also are cooperating with the government. It
Well,
doesn't
they've
fucking matter. This is
historically
a trans.
been
This
a non
no
to not have a
TGDE.
state.
No TGDE. They could have their own autonomous region within Syria, but that is beside the point. The point is that technically they have not abandoned the Kurds. The Kurds have abandoned the US in a way because they have been doing atrocious fucking attacks in Syria. They have been like this is the Kurds have done a lot of fucking nonsense. Like they don't cooperate properly with the US. You have literally they refused to give up territory and they refused to let the government take over the prisons, for example, because the government wanted to make sure the prisons are secure and make sure that this is with obviously the with the consent of the US. They wanted a joint like thing so they could actually make sure that the prisons are properly secure, but the Kurds didn't want to do that. So they had to literally fight the Kurds over these fucking prisons and over territory in the northeast.
I don't know.
You-
I think
this
the
is
Kurds
like
know what they're doing, man. They've been there for a while.
I look, you want to say that, but like this is more vibes if you say that
I
because like
am just doing.
if
I don't
I
know
look at
anything about the Middle East. I just
yeah,
know
if you
that
look at all
the
the
Kurds were a very valuable ally during all of our operations during the
yeah,
Middle
but
East. So
that's like saying that the Kurds are not a monolith. They were doing a whole
yeah,
bunch
I
of like
know.
fucking
There's
bad
different.
shit,
Yeah,
and this is not
there's different subsects. Like I get
they're
that, but they were very
they're
valuable, and
no
they
no
helped.
no you they're not doing this anymore. They're not valuable anymore. They're actively working against it. They're sabotaging a lot of fucking progress that's going on in Syria. And I'm not saying that there's no other bad actors, because yes, there's also bad actors in other aspects of Syria. There's a lot of bad actors with the former Syrian government. Still have like there's a lot of still like old Syrian Arab army people that are still causing a mess. There's still a bunch of foreign uh militants still causing massacres. Yes, it fucking happens, and there's a huge fucking disinformation campaign about it. And
Well,
unless you actually
well,
unless you
I'm Team
actually
Syria.
look
I won't lie, but
if you actually look at all the reports that have been coming out of Syria recently, it's actually insane. I think what I read recently is that they butchered like a bunch of people in a hospital. Like you can't make this shit up. Like stuff like that is like fucking nuts. They've been uh cooperating with some like ISIS people. Like it's not good shit. It's not good. Like stuff that is happening. The Kurds are I'm not saying that all of the Kurds are doing this. I'm
they're a
saying that like
chaos actor.
obviously they're not. It's not working out.
They're a
Is what I'm
chaos
saying.
actor,
And
dude.
people
We
people
signed
like to
with the
glaze the
devil.
Kurds a lot.
No, I'm kidding. That sounds bad.
It's a lot of shit that's going on in Syria. I'm not saying that I know all the ins and outs of what's going on in Syria, but what I see from the Kurds at the moment is really fucking bad. And this is not even including everything that's going on in the south with regards to Israel and the Druze and whatever the fuck. Like
What the
shit
fuck
is
is a
bad.
Druze?
What the fuck is a Druze exactly?
Yeah, what is
Um,
a Druze?
like
Kidding.
shit is not good right now, and I'm not gonna fucking defend Kurds or the SDF anymore, or even like there's a lot of propaganda and there's a lot of misinformation that's going on, and to say that the Kurds, like if the US actually now cuts ties with the Kurds, I wouldn't even be mad about it because they're actually like just fucking retarded right now.
Well, I mean, I don't know what's going on there, I'll be honest. I do think we probably don't make the best impression on like I feel like it kind of makes sense that they are not really trusting of us anymore because of how we've treated them, to be quite honest. But I don't know. I don't know that situation.
I don't think the treatment came out of a vacuum though.
I don't know because didn't we like I
Like
have no idea about the G, but didn't we isn't part of our wasn't part of some of our agreement that they would get some land in like the ISIS occupied zones? Or am I tripping about that? Like they've historically never been given even like an inch of land. So I don't know, but and I think
I
they do believe in things like democracy and stuff like that. So that's cool. But so does
I
Syria, so I'm probably gonna I don't know.
I
I didn't know they were fighting each other so much. My bad.
this is not yeah, like I'm you don't if you don't understand what is going on, it's better to just like leave it be, right?
No. You can talk about politics if you don't know what's going on. MAGA does it every day, so
I'm not personally somebody that subscribes to doing that. So
well, that's the American way, baby. Sorry, I didn't mean that sounded weird. Um, but that's the American way, like you're
one
allowed
thing
to
I do
talk
want to
about
say with
whatever
regards
you
to
want.
one thing I did want to say with regards to Iran is, and I'm glad Adi is in my chat right now. My prediction with regards to Iran is that nothing ever happens. I think I think that my prediction is if something does happen, it will probably be on the 15th of February. Okay? The 15th of February will be, if there is a strike, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen on the 15th.
What
That's my
happened on the
prediction.
15th? Is there any
On the
reason
15th,
or?
I mean, it's a Sunday, and he likes to use the weekends to do these kinds of things because the markets are closed,
Yeah,
right?
good point.
And it's gonna be a new moon, so visibility is gonna be lower.
There we
So
go.
yeah, it's right after Valentine's Day. No, but if it does happen, I think it will probably be the 15th of February. This is my vibes-based analysis
All
and
right.
prediction.
15th of
But
February.
but I also
Mark your
partly believe that
calendars.
nothing ever happens and that there won't be a strike because
You gotta make it happen.
The Epic is saying, I'm pretty sure Adi also said this, that they wanted it to be during the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh, dude, that would have been sick, bro. Dude,
This is
right?
the only way they would have Bad Bunny in the ratings.
Dude, for real, that would have been sick. Dude, why didn't they do that? That's so frustrating now. Wow, you guys really are America first, huh? My president fucking bombs a country during the halftime show. That's actually the halftime show. They set up
It's
cameras.
just a live stream of like airstrikes on Tehran.
Dude, that would have been if only, right, guys? No, that would have been bad. Probably not. Probably would be bad.
But why I say nothing ever happens is I think this is kind of a more like a pressure that he's applying with the carrier strike group next to Iran. Like, for example, not letting any tankers go into the Gulf. Not like basically he's applying pressure with hard power and basically using that as a negotiating tactic with Iran to like actually get them to negotiate. Obviously, Iran will publicly say, "Oh no, we don't negotiate with them. They're evil Satanists from the West," and whatever the fuck. But
something I've noticed,
I'm pretty sure they
about Iran is they're never like so. You see blocks being formed in the Middle East now. You see the Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Egypt, and what's the Qatar. You see them kind of forming a block, and then you see the UAE and Israel kind of forming a block, but Iran is kind of just out there by itself, and I wonder if anything goes into that math of, I mean, they're a pariah obviously, but I don't know, it's just interesting that you don't see that they like kind of form their own
Iran
block, I
is
guess.
Iran obviously this is partly sectarian, partly ideological. It's hard to unite some countries against a certain bloc or another in the Middle East because they fucking despise each other. Everybody hates each other in the Middle East. That's why I'm saying the Middle East is cooked. It's they like you have the Saudis hating the UAE and Qatar hating Saudi, and they just nobody gets along. Okay,
That's why
nobody fucking gets
I
along.
think
They can't
a
agree.
Middle East
They can't
NATO
agree
would
on
be
anything.
interesting. Like,
It's not going to work out. They
I
don't.
think it
They don't
will.
like each
I
other.
mean, I
There's
always have
no
hope for institutions being built.
there's nothing they can align
that.
themselves with. There's nothing that they can actually align. Like, obviously, you can say, "Oh yeah, the U.S." There's
Well,
a bunch of
Paki
countries in
and
the Middle East that
Saudi,
want to align.
they have they
You have
already have a
Qatar and
defensive
Saudi
pact.
Arabia that. Okay, the problem is it's not enough.
Well, that's why more people are signing on to it. Like Qatar's even putting out
Look,
feelers
you
for
can
it.
have. There's a problem. There's a problem. There's no way to actually align themselves with each other if they all hate each other. Hate each other in a very deep sense, in a sense that goes beyond just, oh, our interests don't really align with each other.
I
This
think
is more like
alliances
a
formed in
spiritual.
interest will eventually
No,
bear fruit.
TGDE. This is like it goes beyond. It goes beyond interests. This is like a spiritual, deep hatred they have for each other.
I mean, the Catholics and
Okay.
Protestants had a spiritual deep hatred for each other too. I mean, I don't think this is. I'm pro any alliance that builds up. You know, I don't know. I think
Mm.
I'm trying to.
You
I'm gaming right now. Sorry.
you have not just look, you don't just have like a hatred between certain governments against each other. You also have a hatred between the people of said countries against each other. Okay?
Yeah,
You
I did think about
it's
that too.
there's
they
no
may-
way to actually
Well,
there's no way to actually
Sans mentioned
publicly have an alliance like that. There's like if you
Well, they're doing it. I mean,
publicly announce
they're doing it right
if you
now. Like it's happening. There is a coalition
doing
of
what?
Middle Eastern nations that are signing in to this
There's
defensive
the
pact
Arab League.
originally.
Yeah,
No,
that's
hold on. That originally was created by Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. However, now you have Egypt talking about signing on, and you have Qatar. So there is a nation being not a nation. There is a coalition being formed there.
not in a sense where they actually have
And
proper
I don't
defense
think to call it.
cooperation.
I don't think like
This is
this
more like
could be. Like I don't know how to. Like those are typically nations that are aligned with our interests. So I wouldn't quite.
this is never gonna result in a even like even tangentially close towards like a NATO alliance.
Well, I don't
NATO
know
by
because
itself
Israel
is
and
a
the
thing.
UAE are cooperating a lot more, and they are seen as as kind of pariah states in the region. And
Yes,
I
because
feel
they're
like
horrible fucking
yeah,
states.
but I
They're
feel hold on, let me finish. Don't you feel as though that uh a pact that would promise each other defense would be something that would be sought after because they know that they can't defeat the UAE and Israel together. But if they had a alliance like this where Egypt could send soldiers to Saudi Arabia could send soldiers to Pakistan, all vice versa like that, wouldn't that be something that they would be interested in? Like I think that their hate for each other wouldn't be as pronounced as the need for a guarantee for their safety.
I think Pakistan right now is more concerned about the amount of terror attacks that are happening and about like Afghanistan. this is obviously
Well, a mutual
i- i-
defensive pact would help
you
with
have
that.
not necessarily, because let's say, even for the sake of arguments, right? Even for the sake of argument, let's say for the sake of argument, they have something like an Article 5, right? The problem is this doesn't fucking work out in reality. The reason why Article 5 works for NATO is because NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. They are bound by shared cultural and ideological standards.
Totally
That is
disagree.
not the
Turkey
case.
and the USA
That
don't
is
have much in common.
the reason NATO works is because they have a similar adversary, which is Russia. The reason
Israel
Turkey
and the
joined
UAE,
NATO.
they've got a fucking similar adversary right
Oh my
there.
god, please.
I
No.
Yeah, why
No.
you have to you can't just
No.
say no, you have to provide why. Why are they not
That's
going to be seen as you're telling me that the leagues, not the leagues, the nations in the Middle East do not see Israel and the UAE as a threat, maybe even an existential threat in some cases.
this is not gonna work. They can't just go to war against Israel, and they can't just go to war against the UAE. It's not gonna work out.
That's not how it would work out.
The-
A defensive pact would guarantee
How
that
the
they
fuck
don't
would it?
go to war with Israel and UAE or vice versa because they have the power to counteract and counterbalance that. It's much more
The
valuable.
way the way the UAE does its shit is by foreign interference with regards to violent non-state actors.
Yes.
Okay, violent non-state actors. That's like the broad term for terror attacks, for like terror organizations, for groups that
Yeah,
are
and much like NATO
clearly
cooperates.
insurgent in nature, right? They're insurgent in nature. Now,
Mhm.
the problem is no fucking defense treaty is gonna prevent any fucking insurgent group.
I disagree. There could
This
be
is not
training standards. They could share
no.
intelligence,
This is
expanded
not
intelligence to let them
intelligence
know.
is a different thing. Intelligence is a different thing.
So you don't
Intelligence,
think
no,
a
no, no.
okay.
A defense treaty and intelligence corporation are two different things. You can have an intelligence corporation without having a defense treaty. It depends on what the interests of the country is. For example, Morocco cooperates with all countries with regards to terrorist attacks and insurgent groups. If Morocco has intelligence on a certain group, they will contact that country about that insurgent group. Doesn't matter whether they have aligning interests or are even allied with each other. Okay, but
I mean,
this is
I feel like
let's say this
is happening
is
though. Like there is a pact being formed between these countries. I'm just kind of arguing in terms of like alliance structures now, you know.
this is not
And
gonna
you're
work
just saying
out
like the Middle
because
East.
you're gonna
You're
have
not saying
you're
why the Middle East. It just feels like you're saying the Middle East doesn't have this
bec-
ability because they hate each other. Well, Europeans fucking hated each other for years. They had a huge fucking war over it. Is that what they need to have? They need to have like a giant war and then maybe they can like get together. I don't know why you're saying it's like uniquely different. I guess.
uniquely different because the war kind of purged the dissenters in a way, so you could actually have a rules-based order. And NATO is a historically, like, it's an institution that didn't just pop out in a vacuum like it could. That wouldn't be able, like, you can't do that in a vacuum. It's incredibly fucking
It's not
difficult to do
happening
something
in a
like that.
vacuum
This
though.
is
There is whether I don't believe it's nearly the existential threat that they believe it is, but they do believe that the UAE and Israel are actors that
You need an existential threat to actually have an alliance similarly to that. And that is, for example, the existential threat, for example, with NATO, it was the Soviet Union at the time. Now it's Russia, the Russian Federation. And for example, with the alliances that are in Asia, or like the Indo-Pacific, East Asia, the existential threat there now is China and the CCP. You
And they
can't
don't-
find an existential. There's no existential threat.
I'm giving
like
you
that
the
in the Middle
existential
East.
threat. Yes, the
The
UAE is
existential
and
threat is
Israel
not-
are seen as
No,
that.
they're not.
They're not
not-
seen as that.
You don't. No, they're not. They're not seen as that.
All right. Well, all I know is that this defensive pact is being created right now, and whether it's whether I don't know if it's gonna fail or not, but that is happening. I didn't mean to. I think alliance structures are great, but I don't know.
This is not. It can't. Look, in my opinion, I wish all the governments could cooperate with each other in a way where there would be no more wars and no more territory acquisitions and no more need for uranium enrichment and whatever the fuck is going on in the fucking Middle East right now. Okay? I wish there was no fucking insurgent fucking militants and no fucking regimes that keep slaughtering their protesters and whatever the fuck. Okay? I wish that was the case. That is not the case in the Middle East. In the Middle East, you have a bunch of rogue actors, a bunch of bad faith actors, a bunch of governments that don't give a fuck, a bunch of governments that don't care enough to actually pull their fucking
Dude, this
asses
literally
out of
sounds
the
like
fucking
before
chair.
World War II, how the European countries were acting.
But the problem with the Middle East is there's probably not gonna be the Middle East doesn't have the assets to have a world war. One, because a world war necessitates multiple theaters of combat and anyways, that's a world war. A world war
it
means
wasn't.
you're gonna have multiple theaters all over the world that you're gonna fight each other all over the world, no matter where. And you don't have that in the Middle East. Middle East is pretty localized, pretty regional, mostly in the Middle East and North Africa, maybe a little bit in like the entirety of Africa, depending on like what you're looking at. But the problem is the Middle East is not fractured by interests. The Middle East is fractured by hundreds and thousands of years of groups, sectarian groups, and minority groups that they've been in conflict for fucking ages. And you don't understand when I say for fucking ages. It's the cradle of humanity.
Yeah,
Okay?
but so was
Societies
Europe, dude. The
first-
medieval times
No,
literally
no, no,
had
no, no, no,
people
no, no, no.
fighting
No,
each
no, no,
other and
no.
all that.
I'm talking
I don't think it's
literally
unique
century.
to the
I'm
Middle
talking
East.
millennia. I'm talking
yes,
millennia.
I get
I'm talking
that.
like before.
But what you're
I'm talking
saying
about
is that
before
these
Christ.
people can never come together and form a alliance. That will never happen in the Middle East, and I think that's doomer coded, and I see signs of that not happening and things changing. So, and I just don't feel like you're
Look.
like acknowledging the fact that you're just saying it's not gonna happen. Like, but it is
Yeah, it's not-
happening right in front of your eyes.
Just because two countries are somewhat
And now
allying with each other
it looks
doesn't
like
mean
a third
doesn't mean-
country, and then a fourth country wants to be in there.
that's not. Look, just because the U.S. is supportive of something happening with regards to cooperation in the Middle East doesn't mean that they will actually genuinely, with good faith,
I don't even think the U.S. is
actually-
supportive of this coalition. I think they would be much more interested in a coalition that isn't oriented against Israel and the UAE. And it's not necessarily oriented against them. I just see a block forming of countries, and I think it would be foolish to just assume that they cannot work together because of their history. We have seen countless alliances due to, they call it alliances of convenience for a reason.
TGD. Look, you have a bunch of countries that were quartered up by Europeans that don't actually really they don't even like each other inside of their country. They don't even like each other inside, they don't even like the groups that are living in their own country. Minority groups. Or even majority groups. They fucking hate each other. There's fucking massacres every single day. Okay? There's fucking murders every single day. Because of this sectarian issue. And you're expecting them to just magically, all of a sudden,
I'm not
decide,
expecting
okay,
them.
actually,
I see signs of it.
okay, all of a sudden, we're actually cool with each other. That's not gonna work out. It's just not. It's a
I
fucking.
think
This
crazier
is
things
like,
have happened in history, dude. Like
dude, this is like mixing.
the
I
Russian,
don't know.
hold on, the
Mixing.
Soviets and okay, if we want to go all the way back to World War II, the Soviets and the fucking Western Europeans formed an alliance, okay? It's not as pressing times, I will give you that. But I really think it's foolish to not think about
This is
how
not
this could.
accurate.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just have we just are gonna agree to disagree on this, because I think that's something to pay attention to. I think it could be the start of something more. A lot of analysts seem to be saying that. But I could be wrong, I think
Unless, okay,
I think there's interest there. There's an interest, there's a common enemy that they all have, whether I think it's justified or not. So there is a need, there's a want for something like that. I don't know.
I will say just one thing. Please, if you or when you make it big and you have the money, please go and visit these countries. Visit the countries that you're talking about. Visit the countries you suspect might be forming a bloc with the other countries, or maybe they, even if they have made a bloc with those countries at that point, right? Visit these countries, right? On the ground, see what's going on, and tell me to my face that this is going to work out.
Well,
Because
it's obvious
me,
that
as
they're
somebody,
people, they don't care what their people
dude, I'm not
think.
even from the Middle East. I'm from North Africa. My family is from North Africa. We're from Morocco. And even me, I can see this from 50 billion miles away, because Morocco is a Western aligned country for the most part. Okay? And I can see this from a million miles away. Why? Because there's clear fucking issues in these countries. It's only one fucking coup away from complete mayhem every single fucking day. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about they're not stable countries. The Middle East is not fucking stable by any sense of the imagination. That's why there's this fucking joke, too early, born too late to deploy to the Middle East, born too early to deploy to the Middle East, born just in time to deploy to the Middle East. It's because this fucking region is just fucking cooked. And there's absolutely nothing that will ever happen
Disagree.
with
Sorry,
regards to
I
this
don't like
region.
that's so doomer coded, dude. That's so doomer coded. You have to believe,
just the reality.
even if
That's just the reality on the
I
ground.
don't
That's
think
why I'm
it's
saying
there. I
this
think that
region is cooked, with the exception of Syria, because Syria is actually, in its fledgling state. We don't exactly know. It might go terribly wrong, but what I've seen so far is somewhat okay, somewhat disagreeable, but all in all, it might still get better. But, that's why I'm saying the Middle East is just something like a fucking can of worms you don't want to open.
oh yeah, I knew that with IP. That's why I never talk about it. Anyways, we
Yeah.
can do Collins now. Mirutsu, do you have any opinions on that?
I have zero opinions on it because I don't know anything about it.
Hell yeah. Anyways, we can do call-ins now. That was a fun little disagreement.
We disagreed.
Amen.
Yeah.
But that's all right. See,
Should we
unlike
do-
MAGA, we can come to a disagreement. What's
I'm gonna
up?
post an invite. I'm gonna post an invite link into my chat and for Collins. And
yeah,
also, we should probably, in the meantime, do the questions from the community posts.
Oh yeah, I didn't have any questions, unfortunately. Low engagement, low
Oh.
E.
I got one question from Bill.
All right.
What is it?
Bill.
Bill's our
We love
home
Bill.
dog. He's my moderator. Shout out to Bill.
He's a fucking legend.
Number 1.
Okay, I got one question from Maruzzi.
What's up, Bill?
Is crossing US border illegally a civil or criminal offense? I looked around and found conflicting answers. I gave up and asked a clanker. It said it was a criminal offense, so I asked the same clanker if crossing the US border illegally is a criminal offense, why do people say it's only a civil offense? And it told me it is a civil offense. Same clanker, seconds apart.
Yep. Sounds about
It
right.
is sneaking over the US border illegally is a misdemeanor. It is a criminal misdemeanor. Being here undocumented is a civil infraction. It's a civil offense.
So it is technically, crossing over the border would technically be a federal
Yeah.
criminal offense, right?
So if you hire like a coyote to like help you hop the border, that is a misdemeanor. It's a criminal misdemeanor.
Okay.
But like, you come here and then you don't and you come here legally, like you either cross the border legally or you come here like on a work visa and overstay your visa, that is a civil offense. It's a matter of civil law. It's not any real kind of offense.
Yeah, it's basically like getting a parking ticket, right? That's what I would.
Sans we already did the Super Bowl halftime show and
Oh,
how
yeah.
the right lost over it.
Yeah, I'm just finally
Yes.
finally starting to look at my chat because typically when I'm doing the pod, I don't, it's usually filth. So I try to stay away from it
And
and I get triggered.
I got a question from Bill as well.
Yeah.
Also, Mina, just for my personal survey, how do you pronounce Gestapo? Okay, Gestapo in German is actually Gestapo because it comes from the word Geheime Staatspolizei, which means secret state police. Geheime Staatspolizei. So Geheime means secret and Staatspolizei means state police.
Geheimer Staats.
I pronounce them like ice. You know what I'm saying, guys? Hey. Hey, ice. That's how I say Gestapo. Anyways.
If anybody has still any
If
questions,
you have any questions or want to come into the void,
post them in chat or come into VC, come into the waiting room, and we'll move you in.
Except for you, Dispel, you can get fucked. You're never coming on.
Yeah, I guess Dispel is a real POS. He seems like
I talked to Dispel, but obviously this is all up to Maruzzi whether she wants to talk to him or not. As for what else? Oh yeah, Gazpacho.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say like the streams and subscribe, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's very important.
We didn't say that today.
Right. So. Did your phone number work, Guy? Does somebody want to try your phone number out?
Oh, it does. It would just be a lot of MAGA though, I feel, and you guys wouldn't be able to hear it. Because I wouldn't be able to.
You can put it on speaker.
Well, no, it's a phone on my computer. It's a Google phone number.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it would only work on your stream.
That works. We can all hear the crazy people when they call in.
I know. I'm very excited. It's gonna bring some interesting characters.
I want to hear how real patriot 6969 calls in and then talks in a Russian accent.
Oh, dude, straight up, me and it's Bots and Bill, we were in my stream one night, and we found like somebody pretending to be from America that was like Russian, very Russian coded.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I think it's at the moment at like 50% the bots to human ratio on the internet. So
You
just
think?
assume that 50% of your viewership is just bots. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I'm cool with the bots, you know what I mean? They'll start developing emotion eventually.
I mean, they still give you, the views and still give you the
Amen.
engagement. So
Amen. Also, do you think this is like stoner thought, but do you think AI is gonna ever gain consciousness?
No.
This shit's kind of, I don't know. It's been some interesting.
I am so tired of the fucking AI discourse.
I have no idea.
I've seen reports that there is
I'm not
AI
impressed.
talking to each other in like
Oh,
coded
yeah,
language that humans just don't understand. It's very interesting. I will say that I have always said please and thank you to my ChatGPT agent. I've always been a kind. I'd
For
consider
damn sure.
myself more a steward. Maybe a steward of the great divine being. Oh, I know you're not a robot, Kayla. I'll just say I really have been. I've been nothing but nice,
By the way, I'm like 2 subscribers off from.
Yeah, go
100
give
subscribers.
by the way,
Seriously.
I was
That would
go give Mina a like and a sub and a share potentially. Let me go get her stream real quick. I need to do
Yeah, I'll
that
post your
at the
stream
very
and-
beginning and pin it, and then because I
That's very
was
sweet.
oh yeah, of course. You're
There's
killing
also-
it, Mina. I enjoyed your stream yesterday.
2 more people better fucking subscribe to Mina's channel, or I'm
Oh,
going
they
to
will.
like create 2 more YouTube accounts just so I don't have to stare at that god awful uneven.
Oh, it's
number.
okay. I'll deploy the bots.
Oh, I got one more. One more sub.
1 more. Oh my god, it's even worse now. Please, 1 more.
Bill spammed my channel with which is good. I appreciate that. I'm very boomer coded with all of my stuff. I like it though. Dude, I can't
Yeah.
believe people take Nick Fuentes seriously though. I was playing that video. He literally picked his nose and ate his booger on camera, dude. How do
That's
you
praxis, okay?
fucking
That's
do that?
that's praxis right there.
And you get away with it, bro. Ew, dude, he fucking
There's a
ew.
metaphor for the world in there somewhere. I'm just
Dude,
not quite sure where.
And in one of them, he picks his nose so much that his nose starts bleeding.
Oh my god.
You can't mine
That's
for
what-
gold.
Fuck.
He was prospecting the
spelunking.
cavern. He's spelunking.
he's-
That's
he's-
great. Oh my god. And this is how I think you should always deal with like these white nationalist losers. Like their ideas aren't serious in the first place, so just don't like do not take Nick
We-
Fuentes seriously. He picks his nose,
Little
eats
known
his
fact.
boogers, you know?
That
We're at
one of
we're
the-
at 101 subscribers.
Boom,
My
look at
alt was the
that.
100th.
There we
Thanks,
go.
Bill.
Little known fact, Embo Man, Loner Box's other admin in his Discord, went to high school with Nick Fuentes.
No.
Oh yeah,
fucking
I
way.
heard about that.
Right? That's what I said too. I was like, for real?
What was he? Yeah, I know, that's disgusting. What was he like? Does he have any?
I can't remember what he said he was like. I'm pretty sure he said he was like he is on stream, I guess. I can't remember. I do remember that he went to high school with him though, because
Do you
that shit
think-
was fucking weird.
Or Nick Fuentes is a classic example of somebody who
Yes,
is
Embo's from Chicago.
very closeted, but doesn't want to admit it. I mean, dude was chilling with cat boys and going on dates with cat boys. I'm bisexual, so I can admit that I've went on date with cat boys, but that guy, that's like anti everything he believes in. So I don't know.
I think Nick Fuentes is so close to converting to the other side.
Yeah, I
regards
could
to,
see
like-
it. He was glazing Gavin the other month or so, about
Well,
a
he-
month or so ago.
Yeah, I don't think he's like tied down to ideological like fault lines with regards to like seeing what he agrees with.
I don't know. He can
And,
stay
you know-
wherever. He can stay in his cave. In my opinion,
Well,
I
I
don't want
think-
him. He can. You know what? If he wants to fight Trump, I'll join up with him then. But
I mean, yeah, he's not. He's he did say that he doesn't agree with Trump, and that Trump is like
It's a
horrible
frumpy
because
dumpy.
like he's more. You know what? There's like this one thing that apparently like some MAGA people are like saying, or some left, like even I think even Gavin Newsom said that if Trump actually listened to Steve Bannon, the Democrats would be in a bad shape
oh yeah, I'm sure.
because Steve Bannon wanted the whole, tax the rich thing, right?
Oh,
he wanted the whole
Steve
populist
Bannon,
agenda.
You mean Epstein's best friend, right? That's
Yeah,
who you're talking about?
yeah,
Okay,
basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He wanted the whole populist agenda, and Fuentes is more of a Bannon type, I suppose. So he will align with like populist agenda regardless of like where it's at in a way. And if the vibe is off, then the vibe is off for him, kind of deal. So he won't like. One thing I guess you can say about Nick Fuentes is that he when he disagrees with his own party or with his own like I guess aisle, political aisle, then he will say it and say like, yeah, that shit's whack. And I can't fault him for doing that because like I would say like anybody that's kind of like somewhat worth their salt should be criticizing things that they see issue with their own side instead of
Yeah,
riding and dying for no reason.
yeah, for sure. But
I
I
suppose.
I don't know. I think we need cheerleaders for the Democrats right now. They get nothing but shitty press, and it's very frustrating. No!
Hmm?
Oh my
What?
God. Somebody just
What?
used a leap spell and they killed themselves. Anyways, I'm playing.
Ugh. Jesus,
Yeah,
I
what
thought
an
something bad.
Yeah, right here. They used a flight spell and they fell out of the They fell out of the sky. God, what an idiot.
Only Trump would IRL do that.
Oh yeah, he'd stare at the fucking sun. That's almost as dumb as staring at the sun during an eclipse,
Right.
I still can't
Ah,
believe
yes.
he did that, dude. What an idiot. Like, what
That's
a dumbass, dude.
right there. That's a first term meme.
That is a first term
Ah,
meme
yes.
right there. The good times. Who would have guessed?
My favorite is still when he tried to do propaganda for Tesla.
I love Tesla.
White
Look,
House.
it's all everything's computer.
Do you remember
Yeah,
when
that
he
one.
sat behind the wheel of the fire truck and pretended to pretended to
What? I did not know that. That's something that escaped my mind.
behind the wheel of the fire truck, and he did like a little kid, like beep beep, pretending to honk the horn.
One of my favorite memes that's come out of Trump is he was at a mining that came out recently, is he was at a mining conference or something. He goes, "I love miners. I love them. We love the miners. And it
So we
was
always
very
say,
tone deaf because this was
miners.
around the Epstein stuff.
They say the miners love me.
I'm sure he said he's very tone. This guy is not doing well. Like, I think he's got a good solid couple
Wait, I have to find
months left in
the
him.
beep thing.
I do think
So
he
you
is
get-
probably a little fueled by racism and hate, though. And that will keep a motherfucker alive for a long time. You know? So, I don't know. Part of
I
me
think
kind of does want
you-
him to stay alive, because Mina was making this point earlier in or on her stream yesterday, is
Oh, yeah.
that Vance is a scary
Yeah, he's
dude.
scary.
I do think he
Yeah.
doesn't have quite the mojo that fucking Trump does. Like, but he is a scary dude.
We have a call-in, by the way.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Let us see who that is. Let's bring him in. Oh, it's Epic Fail. This
Oh, boy.
this guy blocked
it's
me.
gonna be funny.
I think he
Hi,
has
Epic
me
Fail.
permanently muted.
Crashed out incoming.
What
Hello.
up, Fail?
I just want to say, first of all, the best Trump moment where he expressed his retardation. He was doing a briefing on some missile defense action they did near Israel, and he was describing how a Patriot missile system works. And he literally goes, "They go in the radar, and it goes pew pew pew, and then bing boom, boom, and then they intercept it like that."
You have
it's
that.
one.
That's
It's probably
actually
the
very
best.
good. I actually
That's
kind of want
amazing.
to. That's
I'm
great.
I guarantee you, if you Google like Trump missile Bing Pew, it'll pop up. It's
That
like
sounds
it was
good.
all over YouTube.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna drop, guys. You all have a good one.
All right, bet I do
All
have
right.
like
Bye,
9 more
Bye,
minutes
Nancy.
until I have to head out. By the way, so let us continue. What's up?
I just was so curious when you kept talking earlier about a defensive pact. You're talking about the agreement between the Saudis and the Pakistanis, right?
Yeah, and how Egypt
Okay.
wants to join into it.
Yeah, I don't know what analysts were talking about, but at least you can go on like CSIS. They do like a breakdown of it. ISW, some other institutions that study this kind of thing. I've never heard in my entire life anyone who thinks that's going to become a self-enforcing defense treaty, and that's not even really the goal. And it like what they agreed to is that. So I think you might have like a big misunderstanding of what the negotiations were even about.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that's fair. I just wanted to say that because I'm all for like the thought process you have. Like if we could have a NATO of the Middle East, that would solve so many problems. But
I
that's
do
not
think
what we see happening right now.
Well, I do think it is interesting that you have these nations that are like they do see. I do think there is a bit of a block forming between the UAE and Israel and the other Middle Eastern countries. Is that not? I mean, I
Sure,
could be
but-
wrong about that.
But like BRICS is also a block, right? With Brazil, Russia, South Africa. But like that doesn't mean if Brazil's attacked, Russia's going to defend Brazil. You know, there's a lot of other types of partnerships beneath
Yeah, true.
a treaty alliance. And I just think it's really important not to confuse the two because, for instance, Israel is a major non-NATO ally. The U.S. and Israel are allies, but the U.S. has no obligation to send troops to defend Israel. You know?
Yeah, I wouldn't. My bad. I shouldn't have. I was just kind of being devil's advocate. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I get it.
I do think it would be. There is a like. I feel like there is a want for something like that in the Middle East right now, because of just how. I do think that these Middle Eastern countries see the UAE and Israel as a bit of an existential threat. Well, I think that's misplaced, but I do think they do see it that way. So I feel like they're, and I think this pact could be a beginning of something, you know?
It could be. It probably is. It's just like we should understand how long this can take. When we talk about like NATO, it didn't just emerge in the 40s. Really, like the foundations of NATO were laid during Napoleon's wars in Europe. Like it people were talking about a Western European alliance to defend against like Central or Eastern European aggression at like the Congress of Vienna in the 19th century. The European Union, the treaties that started that were signed in the 1800s between, it was originally a trading bloc between Brussels and Amsterdam, the Netherlands and Belgium. And these institutions, like, they didn't just emerge after World War II overnight because it was convenient. The frameworks were being worked on for 2 or 3 centuries. And
Yeah.
that's probably how it's going to look in the Middle East. Like, we're probably not going to, in our lifetime, have what you're talking about. But I agree, like, we should lay the foundation to get
I'm
there.
all about
It's just, it's
institution
not going to be an
building.
instant thing. Yeah.
That's kind of why I was a little defensive of it, because the idea of an institution just in general being formed is exciting to me, you know, because
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of people constantly fighting each other. And I think now that, like, we have the example in Europe, you know, they hated each other for so long and they seem to be getting along good. So we know it can happen. It's just like you said, it may take centuries and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I think a good example, people say don't compare Europe to the Middle East. I agree with that. But we can compare it to East Asia. Korea and Japan hate each other. And they have for a very, 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 very long time.
that's a good
These are some of
example.
the oldest nations in the world, right? But they work together now. And part of that's because of the Chinese. But I wouldn't expect like Korea and Japan to make a mini NATO tomorrow. That's probably going to be something like maybe our kids might see.
Maybe if the pivot to Asia ever happens, which you know, we'll see if it does.
Well, I mean, it kind of did happen. That's why we're seeing, you know, a reduction in support for Ukraine and things like that, because the U.S. isn't really interested in European security anymore. So,
Yeah,
in a way,
that
you did
is
have the pivot to Asia. Just,
such a loss there, by the way, in my opinion. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I agree in
Well,
principle, but logistically, it's not actually possible for us to support Ukraine and Taiwan simultaneously. So,
yeah.
I agree it sucks, but
Do you
someone
think,
was going to lose.
I wonder, did you see the news that the top general in Xi's army got canned essentially? Do you think that's going
It
to
wasn't just the
interfere
top general,
with the
it was the
Taiwanese
entire
Yes.
initiative?
military commission.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's insane.
Yeah, it
So
was every single member of the military commission.
yeah, you have basically a group which are like in the CMC that basically, you know, are, you know, you have the top guy who's Xi Jinping, and then you have like the role number 2 that got canned, and then you have another guy that got canned recently as well, basically back to back. And
Yeah,
I'm sure you saw the stream yesterday, right?
I was
Me?
watching in and out.
No, I mean
It was a very
TGD.
good stream. Yeah.
That was the interview between Liz Economy and Ling Wei, and she basically said like he wants to basically have the end all. He wants to be the end all be all in the top brass in the military.
Yeah, right now he's
his
the only
commands,
person
yeah.
left in the CMC.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So-
'cause-
So the question was if that could affect an invasion of Taiwan. It's really difficult to say because like we don't have much vision on like we know very well how the Joint Chiefs works in the U.S. Like we know the roles
Yeah.
of the chairman, we know the roles of the secretaries. We don't really have transparency into how the Chinese military functions at the top level. These
well,
are like
it's also just
there's no like
untested.
clearly
Sorry, you
written or law about it or
you cut out there for a minute, brother.
sorry.
Oh, you cut out there for a minute.
Oh, I was just saying, we don't have great information on how the Chinese decision-making process works at the top level. So it is kind of hard to gauge how these things will affect them. But one way to look at it is if he was actually corrupt and Z isn't lying, that's not a good sign for Chinese military capability.
Oh
And if he
yeah,
wasn't
dude.
corrupt and this is another political purge, that's also not a good sign for Chinese military capability.
Yeah, dude.
So, like, this isn't
it's
good for
not
them either
great.
way.
Like, I know
Like
Yeah.
they really
like,
do want Taiwan
this-
is the issue.
like the number
Not
2
just
in the
Taiwan,
CMC
but
that
yeah.
got canned, the number 2 in the CMC that got canned was literally beyond retirement age. He could have just retired. He could have just let him retire. Instead, he basically sent him to the dungeons.
Yeah, that's gonna.
And like,
I don't think that breeds
right,
loyalty personally.
well,
I
not just that. This is like, clearly there's something going on. And when there's something going on, right, if it smells like shit and it looks like shit, then it probably is shit, right? Then
Yeah.
like there's clearly something going on within Xi Jinping's inner circle, which now is, basically nobody.
Well, I know.
Yeah, but there's a flip side to this that I think people should be aware of, and it's the fact that, like, right now the biggest advantage the U.S. has is the institutional strength of our Defense Department as an institution. Like, the people there are very qualified, they're very educated. China, in terms of like their defense industrial base, is destroying us. They're outproducing us across the board. They have more modern ships in the water that are, in every way, they're outcompeting us, except for the corruption issue and the competence of leadership. And that should scare Americans, because Trump could do purges too. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
our bigger advantage is going to be gone. And that like, people should be concerned about this. Because the
Yeah.
Chinese could figure out how to solve their corruption issues, and they could figure out how to hire more competent people. And they could do that in the next few years. And that could happen at the same time Trump guts our institutions. And
Fucking idiot,
that would
dude.
leave us with all of our advantages gone. And I just
Yeah,
don't
dude,
know
I've
if Americans
always-
realize that, because we see China as it was 20 years ago still, but they're not that country anymore. They are a superpower now.
Yeah, and I've always said that our strongest strength is our institutions, dude. Like, and I think I don't even think like the average American knows what an institution even is. You know what I mean? Like, we really
probably
should
not.
have drilled in like how we need, we really need to drill in how important these alliances and all of this is. It's so frustrating that we have a government run by an idiot. Like, I don't know how else to. He can't be stupid because he got to this position, but it just,
It's not just that. Like, we said that earlier with Vance.
yeah.
Now, imagine fucking Trump dies tomorrow and Vance is in power. That shit fucking scares me, terrifies me. Like, that thought keeps me up at night, because he's an actual ghoul fucking, like, antichrist. The guy is satanic.
He does
Okay,
have like the evil person name.
He
J.D.
is, but
Vance.
it's also hard to tell what he would be like, because he's a chameleon, right? Like 2 years
Yeah,
ago, he was saying
true.
Trump is Hitler. So it is kind of hard. Like, I wonder if Trump dies, if Vance becomes more or less normal, because it really could go in either direction.
Yeah, he does feel like
like
one of
every
those.
time he has a public speaking appearance, he completely shatters any trust any allying country has with the US. Every time I see him
Yeah.
talking about anything foreign policy related, everybody is up in arms and everybody fucking hates his guts and hates the Trump administration. And there is obviously partly you can blame the Europeans as much as you want. You already know me. I'm not one to like fucking hold
Well, it's
punches
50-50,
'cause-
right? But we should focus on our own
yeah,
country.
but then obviously you have fucking JD Vance just putting fucking fuel into the fire for no fucking apparent reason when
Well,
you
he's
already
an
have
isolationist.
like
I think J.D. Vance maybe like he's like what happens if the MAGA movement like truly has like, I don't know, a smart. He's a chameleon. I really don't know. I think you said it best, Epic. He really
It's
is a
not
fucking
just-
chameleon. I don't know what
It's
to
not
believe
just
of
like
Vance.
him. It's
Yeah,
not just
exactly,
him that
it's not.
scares me. It's like the people in his circle that fucking scare me. Like the
Oh, it's
people that
people-
he
Stephen Miller
surrounds
scares me the
himself with.
Stephen
most.
Miller's fucking horrifying, dude. He is a demon.
Yeah, he through and through. He's just like straight up a fascist. Like I
Yeah,
don't know
white
if JD Vance is
nationalist as fuck.
fascistic. Because I don't know what he actually believes, but I know what Miller believes, and
Yeah,
I
Stephen
know
Miller
enough
is
about that. So, yeah.
horrifying. Like that
Yeah.
man, after this, he needs to be disgraced for some of the shit he's said. He is a bad dude.
Yeah,
Doesn't believe in our constitution, and it's just
Like I need the Heritage Foundation to be as far as away from institutions as possible.
oh, dude, the heritage.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the Heritage Foundation is probably one of the most influential think tanks in the
You
country, right?
know what's interesting? They were so afraid of the deep state that they made their own deep state. Like they literally made their own deep state, and they're cool with it. They're cool with these corporations drafting laws for them. They're just fine with it. It's so weird. Like the
Well, they
real-
also somehow got people from Montana to praise like feds coming in and arresting people in the states, which is insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's the party of freedom of speech, though. So just remember that. Anyways, I have to head out, guys. It was good seeing
Yeah.
you. Good talking to you guys, and have a great
Thanks
day. Go
everybody for
subscribe.
tuning in for the podcast. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
By the way, I don't
And-
have you blocked. I had you blocked for a day because I was annoyed, but I usually go back and unblock people if they
Okay,
don't
bet.
permanently piss me off. So
Hell yeah.
if you message me, I'll see what it says.
All right, radical. Well, it was good talking to you, dude. Glad we could agree on
course.
some things. You know what I'm saying?
I think we agree on most things. I think
Yeah.
I was annoyed because I felt like I was being misunderstood, and I
You
just
probably
really don't
were.
like being misunderstood.
I'm
Yeah.
very bad.
I mean,
at
I don't
sometimes
think-
misunderstanding
I mean, I
things
didn't
at
really I didn't really say all that much about what you said in chat, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like we straightened it out. I was just screaming like, this isn't what he thinks it is repeatedly, but it seems like we're past that. So,
Oh, yeah.
at the end of the day, I agree with his like wishes. Like, I want that to be a thing. I just don't think it's being a thing right now, but hopefully one day.
I just don't see it happening. That's just me.
I see seeds being placed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're gonna grow
Yeah, but those
overnight.
Yeah, I
seeds
could
need
agree
to
with
be, like-
that.
But I do
But
see
those
seeds.
seeds need to be watered, and Middle East is notoriously full of drought. So
It is, but it could. Let's.
Although I
hope
will
that-
say we do have a unique opportunity, right, with the fall of Assad and some of the
Yeah.
shifts in the region. Like, if we're going to start the
that's why I'm
dialogue,
saying
now
this-
would be the time.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
why I'm
think,
saying Syria is like a little ray of hope in the whole fucking
Oh yeah, you know,
blazing.
I was not
pile
aware
of
that the
shit that is the
Kurdish
Middle East.
forces were antagonizing Syria so much. So, and I'm very like, I think I agree with you. It's a ray of like hope, and it could lead to even more people rising up. So I hope it's I don't know. I hope it works out.
Yeah.
It's what the people of Syria deserve. But anyways, I'm gonna head out. Good seeing you, gamers.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
Thanks
say peace to
for-
my chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It was fun talking to you guys. I like doing this.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. I love doing the podcast. It's really fun.
Yeah. it
And
gives me-
I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the podcast. I love you guys, and I thank you to everybody that subscribed today
Alright, I'm gonna-
and pushed me over one.
Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys are absolutely amazing. I know I don't really pay too much attention to the chat during the podcast, but that's just because I want to make sure I'm listening to what they're saying and not getting distracted. But tomorrow is going to be a huge episode. Tomorrow is going to be an absolutely gigantic episode because we will finally be able to reveal what's coming soon. And if you don't know what's coming soon, it is our call-in line. That's right. If you have a phone number, you will be able to call into the show and let me know how Trump is the best thing in the world and he's not hurting America. He's actually based, and I should be ashamed to be a liberal. So if you want to do that, or if you just want to come and enjoy the stream and watch, that's more than welcome too. But anyways, like I said, I do have work today, so I will be getting out of here, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna be heading out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We had a lot of likes on the stream. We had a lot of views here, so I really appreciate that, guys. And let me get the outro music started. Sorry, for some reason I clicked out of the Front Mission 4 original soundtrack. I think that's heartbreaking. By the way, if you guys aren't already subscribed to Mina, you should go give her a sub because she just hit 100 subscribers. That's super exciting. She did that during the episode, so that is super hype. And then if you have Twitter, I don't have Twitter, go give Mirutzi a follow. I think that's all I have to say. Now I'm just waiting on my computer to load. Shout out, we really enjoy having the Lenovo laptop, you know? Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow.